So we're gonna have to do Pretty next time, or what?
That's what I want to close it off with.
Yeah. Oh, we can.
To close it off, Pretty drops Dust. His final installment to the
one of the best trilogies.
The trilogy.
The trilogy, yeah.
One of the best we've seen in the continent.
And you have to address it because you talked crazy about it.
But that was just before the album even dropped. I was talking in general. It was not personalized.
And it was banter also. It felt like a bit of banter or what?
Sometimes it feels like that because I don't have PR answers. You know, I'll say it as it is. Yeah.
Okay. Get in there, big dog.
I
hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I didn't study the art of sucking dick.
God damn.
Why? I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's crazy that the answers nobody had I found when searching for myself. Let's toast to victory. Pick up your glass, show me love for once. Let's toast. Welcome to Choppin It with Bhuda T. I am the Lord of the entire, Lord of the every, Lord of the juice, Lord of the squash, Lord of the fit, Lord of the squats. Squats. There's cheeks out there for the babies. Lord of the mommy game. Lord of the cleanliness, Lord of the chop, Lord of the culture. Lord of the Jig, Himity, the boy shade game is the verdict. Yes, we're here once again for the culture chop with Rashid Kay, the OG, and Farx. Let's get
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome, you for inviting me again. Feels like home.
Hell yeah. So it felt as though culturally, it felt like it was only right that first of all we get straight back to it, cause the culture is speaking, and if the culture is speaking about what we're speaking about, we're gonna have to speak about what the culture is speaking about.
Let's do it.
Yes,
I think it's only right. So the OG Rashid Kay is out here. Farx, you're out here. Welcome, Culture Chop. We're back in business, bro. Beans, Aya, the sound guy from Choppin It. Let's get straight to it. How was, let's say, the weekend? Because we dropped what, on Thursday?
On Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
So, how was the weekend? Maybe, I guess we can get straight to, should we get straight to business?
Let's do it.
We should just get straight to business, no?
Let's get in there.
Damn, you guys don't even want to tell us how you are, like, if you are having fun, how life is. You guys don't care about any of those things?
We're good, we're nice. We have to brag about it.
You don't want to... Okay, so we had a response to the culture chop, I guess, about a lot of the things that we touched on. I guess the biggest thing was the current top 5, because the Blackie response. I guess that's the first response we got, right?
Yeah. Super.
So Black, are we gonna be able to? We can't put Blackie's tweet here somewhere where he responded. So he's already shaking his head. So Blackie's response was, shit, should I just read it?
It's the only way.
Because we don't want to misquote him, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Because that's dangerous. You don't want to put words in people's mouth. Shit, Blackie. Damn, but now if I go down his tweets, I should have had it ready now. I should have prepared it. Yeah, you guys will find it. But he pretty much responded as, you were saying what you were saying in response to us putting him at number 4. I think we'll put him on number 4, no?
Yeah.
I was only asking with what?
Yeah,
Wasn't that question justified? like in 2023. You know,
What
I'm not
happened?
hating on him. I'm not
Spit
hating.
on the mic, big
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? When,
Yeah.
when I said with what, if you guys gave me material, no, this is what Blackie did in 2023. I was gonna be like, okay, fine. He deserves to be there. Let's move on. It was
Yeah,
no
it
hate
wasn't.
at all.
It wasn't a malicious.
No,
yam
it wasn't.
to Blackie.
I think we tried to give you though, but I think you just weren't hearing it on some level.
No, but like, okay, let's not go back there. But yeah, that's what
No,
I
but
wanted
it's
to know.
fair for us to unpack it though, so
Yes.
that it can be clear. Because I also didn't really take it as you were that it was personal to Black. I think you questioned. We all fairly questioned everybody. I think also
Yeah.
it's the trailer. It's people responding to the trailer.
Yeah, to the trailer.
Because we evenly questioned every name that was brought
Yeah,
up. Yo, on what grounds are they coming up?
yeah, because you can tell even like the comments on the trailer are different from the comments on YouTube.
On YouTube,
Yeah, you can
facts.
see
I
that
noticed
this
that
guy
too.
didn't watch the whole thing. You know?
Facts.
Yeah,
You're spot on, actually. Because
I saw that too.
the engagement
yeah,
on the YouTube comments is
Very
actually
different.
completely different. You're right.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, so Somnyama's response was something to along the lines of course, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have it to read it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Thank you, big dog. Are you our fact checker? That's all
Finally.
a fact checker. We love it.
Finally.
yeah,
So, Somnyama's response to the trailer on Twitter was, Kulega, OG doesn't like me because I said fucking Dabaye BTTC, which is back to the city. And namanje fucking Dabayayo. Naye. Damn!
and me, I was included. You know,
Damn,
okay,
Black.
let me tell you the backstory.
Somnyama, the hardest, the greatest.
Standing on it.
Are you
Okay.
standing on it, yo?
Let me tell you the Blackie backstory.
Yeah, let's unpack the Blackie situation,
you know,
maybe.
he was booked for Back to the City.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up not performing. I don't know if he was late or whatever, because if you don't pitch on time, you're out.
You did explain that you guys are strict with the time out
yes. And most important thing, I have nothing to do with the main stage. I run the power play stage. It used to be Red Bull stage. The second stage where there's 10K challenge and whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like fully responsible for that. I have nothing to do with the main stage.
there. With what's happening over
Yeah,
there.
but when that happened, I took a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so to give also more of a backstory, so after that situation had happened, this was, what year was it? Probably 2002 maybe?
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, so... Because we all caught it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, he just came out saying, fucking Dabaye.
Yeah.
Back to the
Amasimba,
city.
Back to the city.
Oh, I must send back to the city, is what he
yeah.
said, yes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, well, as somebody who hadn't gone to back to the city in that
Yeah,
year.
and we didn't even respond to that.
Yeah, you guys didn't engage that situation. But so, I guess people who put together, well, he then put that together, which
Yeah.
you probably feel away. So, do you feel away, though? Did you guys feel away? Can keep it a bean, of course, when you guys saw...
No, it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the first time. You know, like we've had rappers talking stuff, swearing at us, tweeting about us.
Yeah.
Ever since we started with Back to the City and SA Hip Hop Awards, you know, it happens
It's
every
a part
year.
of the
Like,
it's a
you
part
get-
of the job.
Yeah, you get rappers saying, "Hey, fuck Back to the City. I'm pulling out." Next year they coming back. We're not gonna remind them like, "Okay, welcome back." You know,
Yeah.
we're not playing like petty games.
I fuck with that. And also, maybe break down the mindset behind that disposition, because I've found myself having to sort of have a similar disposition now that I do this job of reporting and speaking on the culture. And it's like, sometimes because of what people see and consume on the platform,
Yeah.
I'm going to catch the smoke for whatever's happening on the platform. So people will direct their anger at me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just providing the platform.
Yeah, you're gonna be attacked for
And-
something I said.
Yes, and also I've
You
had
know?
to learn that I shouldn't take personally what what the comments say.
No,
Like,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
my job is to deliver the work.
Because the thing is, with Back to the City and SA Hip Hop Awards, they only know me. They don't know other guys. We don't know who to tag.
Yeah.
You know, you
You've
don't
sort
know
of
who.
become the face of.
Yeah, you don't know who to swear at. You know, there's like more than 12 people in the team.
Yeah.
But I always take the bullets. Take bullets for the team.
Shit. So, to clear it up, obviously you're saying it had your stance on Blackie had nothing to do with the Back to the City Young.
Nah, never that.
And
I have. You can check my phone now. I have each and every Blackie's album, deluxe single, EP. You know.
Yeah. And how do you feel about his response to the trailer? Obviously, some strong words there also a bit.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I didn't take it personal.
Yeah.
Like I know artists are sensitive. You know, everyone would like to protect their craft. You know.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get that. So you understand why he felt the way he felt.
I completely do.
That's fair. So we good on that?
Yeah, we good. I was.
What was
thinking-
your take on the Blackie response?
I don't really have a take on his response because I was trying to figure like what led to that. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the Back to the City story, like I saw a little bit of it, but I didn't really tap in. So I was asking myself, like maybe behind the scenes, there's something.
There's probably some
But
smoke
obviously,
out there.
listening in now, you know, I think it's just a matter of like misunderstanding or miscommunication. Because when it comes, I can tell you personally, when it comes to events, stage, like that's a very chaotic scene. And if not for the relationship that artists have with each other, there'd be a lot of fights at events because stage managers and other artists are late. Stage managers disappear, or they allow this person because they're bigger artists to take up more time, and it fucks with the other person. There's all these things that happen with events, so you know feelings do get a bit. You know,
You're
high.
absolutely spot on, actually, because that's exactly where this situation is coming from. Because
Yeah.
I think he had performed there and had not been able to finish his set or something because he had run out of time.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously have said a
We've
lot of
had-
times because you guys are strict on the time.
We've had that situation before when Casper's performance was cut while he was still
He
performing.
also had a young.
Yeah, he also had a tantrum there. You know, it's like that thing of trying to perform a new song and you're teaching people the chorus or the hook.
Takes up more
You
time.
rewind again and let's do it again. Ah, you get it. Let's do it again. And time.
Yeah, and then you
know,
can't finish the whole
you
set.
can't finish
'cause
the
now,
whole set. Yeah.
For me, dog, as a person who's like worked in those spaces, I can like 100% respect it because if it's on principle, like you're saying, it didn't happen to just a Blackie. There's a Casper there.
This is just the business they stand on.
It's not like because maybe you're a lower level or mid-tier artist,
No, it's
we
not-
let
it's
you
not like
Vele
that.
get the smallest minutes, but if it's a Casper, then hey, let him rock out however he needs to rock.
At the
Yeah,
venue
yeah,
we're
yeah.
using, there's cops standing on standby outside. At
the
certain time, they
timing to
moving
say-
in. Yeah.
You get me? So I respect it if Vele, everyone is getting it the same way. You know.
That's fair. That's fair, gentlemen. That's fair. I hear it. So, but you have no comments on the actual Blackie statement.
Nah, I get it, cause like you know,
'Cause now
it
you're
is
on his
emotional
side.
thing. Like niggas are on stage trying to rock out. You know what I'm saying? And it's a painful thing to get your shit shut down. You may feel like it's an attack on you. You know, whatever people may say, yeah, it happened to such and such. You feel like I was done dirty.
Yeah.
You know, so I do understand that response to feel like, man, fuck this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Now, on a business level, is it wise to sort of sever ties on that level with like establishments like
For
as
me,
staple as
as someone who's in like management and handling artist affairs, nah. And I probably would have maybe reached out to the team on my own accord and be like, yo, man, like, you know how it goes with artists. Sometimes shit gets a little, and try and mend the thing, at least on a business level. Personally, they don't have to see eye to eye. As long as we can come do what we need to do, you guys get what we need to do.
Yeah.
It's cool. That's for me as management. I don't think it's really a wise decision. Even if you feel like that, I think you can kind of
throwing it in the
internalize.
air
I
on the
think you can
net
kind of
is a
internalize
bit
that
crazy,
thing, like, Yeah, or have a chat with the niggas and be like, yo, what type of time are you on? Like, and maybe they can break it down to you, like, yo, bro, this is the situation. It's not personal. I think it just takes a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And at the office, you guys don't. Is there any Blackie word swirling around? So do we still do business with Blackie, or what? What
No,
do we
not
do?
at all. He's not the first one to do that. You know.
So you guys are still gonna call
Maga
him?
has been doing it over the years.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we don't take it. If you deserve to be there on merit, we're gonna put you on. You know.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little more, maybe, the shock value is more because it's like a Blackie. He doesn't really like speak on things, and
Yeah.
with the Mega, you know how he was. Like, if something can
was-
happen now, he can tell you, man, fuck this whole shit. But at least he'll go back and have the chop. He's willing to have the chops. To say, no, I feel like y'all did this, y'all did that, and you know.
He's always gonna stand on it and confront it in real life and say, "Yo, come on," but
Yes, so I think that's the thing that made it such a big thing, because it's like, hey, Blackie doesn't really move like that, you know.
Yeah. Crucially, it must be really something for him. But okay, we did get another response from another prestigious Triple OG, the GOAT, the greatest, top 2 rappers of all time, SA, from Stogie T. My big homie, shout out to him. It's all love. I'm just gonna play the thing and then we can respond to it. Yes.
Yeah, can we do the shot while you're playing?
Yeah. Welcome to the couch. I'm still trying to figure out how to start this shit, but it was ready to just get straight to it. So it was like,
Shout out, Prince.
Connected where, sir?
Your phone, yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, Culture Chap, we're back in business. Or maybe you can play it there on yours?
Yeah, connect your phone
Connected where?
on this.
Oh, okay.
So,
Connect me there on the desk. So, yeah, get in there.
nah, let's wait for it, actually.
Oh, you thought you had something?
I was thinking to continue or expand on, but actually,
You want to wait on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wait on it. That's cool. So, to give context, Stogie posted an Instagram story where he had a clip of a piece of the Culture Chap where you were apparently misrepresenting him by saying that he was initially a poet. Before you respond to it, let's play it and then we'll hear what you got to say to that. You saying I can jam it, big dog?
Please jam it.
It didn't start as a rapper. He became a rapper later on.
Oh, that was a poem he was busting?
That was a poem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Stogie was a poet. He became a rapper much later.
Gentlemen, there's a whole era of SA hip-hop that predates the club. And clearly Rashid Kay wasn't a part of it. I met Rashid when he came to me and asked me to be in a documentary for SA hip-hop that he was making. I told him categorically no. He said, don't worry, dog, I'm not going to misrepresent you. And I said to him in his face, I'm not worried about you misrepresenting me. I'm saying you cannot represent me. And clearly, I was right. Zinger, good luck on the YFM job, bro. But we all gonna need you to know the difference between an OG and a nigga that's just old.
My God!
Respect.
You got shots there. Quack, 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 quack. You don't have the gunshots. We need to get gunshots for these types of reactions on the Culture Chap. So, shit.
damn.
Yeah.
That's a loaded response right there from the big dog. Obviously, the pen on it is crazy, as you would expect. Like,
Yeah.
them is bloody well bars.
That's what he's known for.
That's what he does.
Stogie's name only comes up when you talk about bars.
These are facts.
You know?
These are facts. So, I think maybe let's address his first claim. The backstory of... Wait. He says you are misrepresenting him.
How? Google do me poet MC.
Okay, the first point he made.
You know, if he denies like he wants, he was.
That's
once
what I want to address first.
Yes.
And can we have? We need somebody else reputable, which you are, Big
Yeah.
Dog. We need somebody else to vouch. Anybody out there in the comments who knows for a fact, who knew this like the same time Rashid is talking about, he knew it at. Who can say, yes, I remember a time when Stogie T was a poet. As do me, of course.
But I'm saying,
please
if
let
you
us
Google
know.
now.
Yeah.
Do me poet MC.
But
Like
is that-
Pro Kid is not referred as a poet. I know the P in rap. The P in rap stands for poetry. It's rhythm and poetry, but
Facts.
that's not what they mean there. You know,
Yeah,
AKA
facts.
is not referred to as a poet MC. Only Dumi was referred to as a poet MC. That's why I'm saying Google Dumi poet MC. You'll see it will pop up. You know, I didn't make it up. You know,
So
and
you did not
he was,
you did not misrepresent
I
him.
did not. He was just touched on something he didn't touch on, which is, was he busy in December? You know, that's
Why
the question. That's the question that touched the nerve. Forget that all other shit. That was just a clap back to sound smart. You know, OG, oh nigga, that's old. Me and Dumi are the same age. You know, months apart. You know.
Yeah, he does come up as the poet MC out here.
Yeah. So I didn't misrepresent him. It's out there in the history books. Stop lying to the kids.
Is the story he's telling about you approaching him for a docu true?
So that's what I was about to address. So
Yes,
okay, so
yes.
now that backstory that he then gives on you having approached him for a docu.
Yes. I was commissioned back in 2012 to shoot an SA hip hop documentary, and he was one of the people I had listed on my script to interview,
Yeah.
and he said no.
Categorically.
Yeah,
That's what
Cannot be presented.
he said categorically.
yeah. You
No.
know, he said no. I tell my own story. I was like, cool, fine, and then I think I was talking about it on Twitter. I said something back then, 2012. I said something about the docu on Twitter, and then he responded to it. I was like, bro, I invited you to tell. Now you're coming here on Twitter to say these things. You had a chance to sit down and say these things.
represent
You know,
yourself.
so
Wait.
we had back and forth with him on Twitter for like 2 hours.
Shit.
Like, no, that's not true. Nah, that's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As peers, you know, and it didn't stop there. Me and Dumi has been at each other's throat for a while now. You know, this is not the first time.
Oh, so this is not a
Nah, that's not a new thing. It's not a new thing.
Oh, so it doesn't come from the culture chat.
Nah, it doesn't come from the culture chop. You know what I mean? Cause
Can I just backtrack just a bit?
Yeah.
When he was coming on Twitter, so did you guys in the docu speak on him?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
So what was he coming to say on Twitter when you guys ended up in a
He said
back and forth?
you got TV is your thing, my thing is Twitter. Everything I wanna say, I say it on Twitter. This is my platform. That's what he said.
But I think he was probably was
Pertaining
he not
to what,
critiquing
though?
the
To whatever. If he needs to tell anything about himself, he'll say it on Twitter.
Or saying that's why he didn't want to do the docu.
Not on my documentary.
But in the back and forth, was it not happening because he was maybe criticizing or maybe saying this is not true in the docu of the story?
It
of
was
hip-hop?
not even out yet. It was not even out.
So how did the engagement ensue?
I
Yes,
think
what caused this engagement?
I'll have to go back to that.
Oh, you don't remember how it
Yeah,
started?
like the exact
Yeah.
details. But I think people, I'm a historian and a documentarian when it comes to SA hip hop, and
Oh, now?
some people have a problem that why this guy? This guy thinks he knows it all, you know,
Yeah.
because most of the things it's either I was there or are based on research, you know.
Yeah.
I did on my podcast, the Masterclass
Yes,
podcast,
sir.
there's an episode called The History of South African Hip Hop, 1982 to 2023, where I
Shit.
break it down from the beginning, you know.
Shit.
So some of the things I was never there. It's based on research and interviewing these people, the Ready D, the Lancers, you know, the first people to do whatever. I have video interviews where I was sitting down with them. That's why I can say this happened in 1985 because Lance said it and I have him on camera.
You have him on record saying that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then do you want to say something to that?
No.
That leads me to then the message then that he leaves me with, which is having to learn to, well, firstly he says congratulations. What does he say?
All
Says
the
good
best
luck,
for the
all the
show.
best for the YFM job. Thank you, big dog. I haven't gotten the contract yet.
Receive. Say I receive.
But big dog, I appreciate you, big dog. Like, I'm gonna do my best. I promise. He then says a message to me. I need to be able to differentiate between an OG and a nigga that's just old. So
Yeah.
obviously that's a shot at you, of course.
Which doesn't make any sense.
And that's what I want us to address.
Let's
So
address it. Let's address it right now.
my thing is, what I want us to all discuss. Farx, obviously you can join in on this.
Yeah.
What qualifies an OG, and thereafter, what then disqualifies you from being an OG? Because on the first Culture Chop that we had you on, you came out here and you broke it down as far as your contribution, your existence, and the work you put in.
I've contributed to SA hip hop 10 times more than Stogie. All he did was like bars, you know. All he did, he's not mentioned unless we're talking about lyricists. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna mention Back to the City and SA Hip Hop Awards because that's not my shit. The shit that I did alone, you know, I produced Battle Stations, a hip hop show on YoTV for 3 seasons. I produced She's Knees and She's Live for 3 years.
You did, actually.
Yeah, kids grew up watching my
Watching
production.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? I produced One Mic on SABC 1, 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Those are hip hop shows. I was a writer for Hype Magazine. I was a chief editor for I Speak Hip Hop Magazine.
Are you throwing bombs there? Are you?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did a hip hop show, Clever Won't Give Up, on Okozi FM for 2 years. I was on Metro FM doing Repetitivity Jam for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Besides rapping, what did he do?
Damn.
Talk that
Because
shit.
so
That's the only upper hand he has on me. The
Is that he
raps.
raps better than
Yes,
you?
of course.
which he does,
Yes.
respectfully.
Yeah, he does. You know.
We'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna speak into your OG credentials, but
But you must understand that.
What?
You must understand that Nas raps better than Drake, but Drake makes better music.
are you going? You doing all the business there? I don't know at this stage. I want to speak for my side because I'm obviously being addressed on there as well. You know,
Yeah.
as I felt as though I had done my due diligence, and as somebody who has now also then just laid out his credentials as to why I feel like he's an OG in the space and why his opinion would matter.
Even Blackie, when he was dissatisfied with me, he said OG doesn't like me. He referred to me as an OG.
I like that, Blackie. Respect. He did reflection.
Even within.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Blackie for that.
Yeah.
What's your take on this type business?
Well, for me, I think this thing all boils down to it being personal. I don't think his statement is on merit. I don't think if maybe given the platform, he could justify what disqualifies Rashid as an OG. I think for me, if we give you or put you on a pedestal and say you're an OG, it's because you've contributed. It's not just about you being around.
Yeah.
We look at like you service the game, you service the culture. You've added, you've put in your life and years into, you've poured into the culture.
Facts.
So I think anyone who has done that is
for me, that is I have a similar understanding, and I assume you have the same understanding. For me, it's like, in the mentality of hip-hop and building this thing, it has become a part of the culture to have to acknowledge and want to champion the people that also are not in the spotlight and say that, yo, this is somebody who also put in their 10,000 hours, and they also put in their blood, sweat, and tears into.
Also, it's documented.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's documented.
Yeah, it is documented. Another thing, not even once have I ever called myself an OG. Whenever I step to the room, like kids be like, "Hey, groot man, hey, OG." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I embrace it because I am, you know.
Because you've grown up in
you know what I mean? And
the culture.
The OG term comes from the gangs. You know, there's the ranks where you reach the OG status.
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
Hip hop adopted it from the
gang
gangs.
culture. Yeah.
Ice-T released an album in 1993 called OG, Original Gangster. Yeah.
Talk that shit, hip hop historian shit. Doing that business out here. Okay, no, don't worry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I think also another thing that I saw is that as peers, you're obviously not looking at someone within your age bracket or even in the hip-hop space's age bracket or the years you guys have been around. I don't think you're looking at them to look at them as OGs. So maybe to him, you know, it may feel like...
it's understandable
whose
why
OG
he
is
would...
this?
Yeah.
Like, whose OG is this? OG to who? You get me? But your perspective's different because you're a rapper who's an OG, so you're within that space. You're looking at that person as a peer. But like, if everyone else has to kind of give their take, they would, he's definitely an OG.
Yeah, but he can't say I'm an old guy, which I am, like he's young, you know.
No, it's saying somebody who's just old. He's just taking your OG status away from you, which you've clarified.
Yeah. No, he can't do that. He won't be able to do that. And doing a song with Nasty C or a new kid doesn't make you young.
Jesus.
So me,
Do you regard him as an OG?
As an OG in the game, not my OG.
Yeah, not your OG.
Yeah,
as
he
OG.
is an OG in the game.
Or maybe that's what he was saying, that you're not his OG, which is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what I want to get to is on the part that I was addressed on. So I can be trusted in knowing what an OG is, right? I'm on track.
Certified.
I'm doing all right. Big business. Oh my goodness.
You know, kids who were Cash Time fans in 2012, they call you an OG.
They do. They do. I did want to say
rappers.
that. Yeah, the new rappers refer to me as OG. I did want to bring that up, but then I was like, let me not make this about myself.
No, but
that's true.
That's
like,
the
even
fact.
me, I'm an OG to the youngins.
Yeah.
And I did want to say, OG, let's hold on with the OG handle. Maybe you niggas can call me Big Homie. Because I feel like OG, I haven't...
It's sensitive. People are going to get angry.
No, it hasn't reached.
Not just that, but I feel like I haven't... Like, my impact and influence, maybe. But I feel like I still have so much work to do before niggas can say OG.
No, the thing is, you don't perceive yourself as people perceive you.
True. There's also that. You're
Touché.
right. Touché. Okay, OG is locked in today. He's not playing. In other news, The Sobering joins Revolt. The Revolt Podcast Network, no?
That's big
Yes.
business.
Give them a hand, no?
Big business. Big
Shout out
business.
to the Sobering Podcast.
They're working for Didi now.
That's big business.
And that's
though.
everybody. And that's
It's big business.
It's been no shout out to them.
that's big business.
It is.
This
Big
is
business.
Puff Daddy, nigga.
You know, they
we
call-
grew up on Puff Daddy.
They colleagues with Joe Biden now.
Yeah.
They have the
He's
same
on
boss.
the Revolt Network.
Yes, yeah, they have
Even
the same
Nori as
boss.
well.
Nori as
Yeah.
well, which is Drink Champs.
For me, dog, I think the highest step I want to give to them for that move is the fact that I don't think they had to compromise their style.
Talk that shit.
They didn't have to compromise their style on any level.
Yeah.
Talk
They
that
didn't
shit.
have to do any like trendy things or try and go out of pocket to catch this. I think it's just organic and it happened. So for me,
Yeah.
that's the biggest shout out. So yeah,
That's
to
fire.
the Bruise.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bruce.
That's
Nah,
rough, man.
that was
That's rough.
fire. And then obviously the the obvious joke then become the Diddy thing. So because I also posted it on Twitter when
Yeah.
I congratulated the niggas, and then
Yeah.
the comments. Obviously, we got to deal with that. Then that comes in where people are now attaching obviously all the Diddy scandals, which I
Yeah.
don't think we have to really break down. I think the whole world is aware of what's
Yeah.
going on with Diddy right now. And then people are coming up with all them type jokes. Diddy, obviously, as soon as all the trouble started, I guess in attempts to save the business, stepped down from what was his position? Was he CEO or what? What was he there?
Definitely the
Yeah.
CEO,
Of-
but I'm sure it's
Of course, he's the
Yeah,
boy out there.
even Ciroc is not part of it anymore.
Yeah, he had to. He obviously had
A
to
lot of
step.
relationship.
When
Yeah.
you have this type of smoke, you have to.
You need to lay low.
You have to lay low. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to run and hide for a bit. See if
so it also doesn't impact the business.
yeah, so that you don't burn your houses down. You have to. It's like, oh shit, I'm on fire. Go out of
Step
the
out.
house. Go sit somewhere till the fire comes off. And the people who are at the business will try and keep the business alive. So of course, we're saying all of this to say that the Sobering are not attending Diddy parties and are aligned with any of that type of business. No.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
I'm saying that's a big move. I'm happy for the
Yeah.
gents. You know, they shouldn't take the
Definitely.
Diddy. They shouldn't take the Diddy jokes personal. You know.
Yeah, I think the Diddy jokes
You know,
is just jokes.
yeah, Big Fred Kabela used to work with him from Yo TV. You know,
Yeah.
he was a presenter for that Battle Stations show. You know, so
Oh yes.
yeah, so
that's true.
I've been working with him, so he's a cool dude. He deserves
So you're saying
everything.
you've hired him?
No. We were hired by Eben Brew. We're all getting paid by
Okay,
Eben
okay.
Brew. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
No, that's
No.
fine. And speaking of Fred, actually, he also called me.
Yeah.
Dying watching the Culture Chop, and it just was like, yo, this shit is killing me. And you know what he said? Actually, he was like, Tilly actually did post his list, so we have to correct that. He says Tilly actually did post his list, I think on his Insta, he said, and then that's where Kitso took it from, which is neither here nor there, but
Oh yeah.
just to mention because you brought him up.
Also, apparently,
That's what he said.
Clarified apparently that
It's
that's
his
his
favorite.
personal what or apparently clear.
But
You must
still
say that-
trash though, even if it is personal.
No, you can't judge people's personal.
Yes, no, I mean
Yeah.
the list is trash, not his personal taste.
Oh,
We
okay.
can accept that that's his taste.
Yeah, he
and
should
that's
have
how
said
he
that
feels.
to avoid the smoke. He should have said that, like, this is my one. If you disagree, make yours.
Yeah, but I think also what's fair, what should be fair is that we also caught it from Kitso.
Yeah.
We didn't see it from maybe in his caption he had because I don't have him on the gram, so
But there's
I
something
didn't
we were
see it.
speaking on right before we got into this TD list. What was he saying?
We were speaking about the Sobering and the Diddy jokes.
Yes. My point I want to make is, man, fuck all that Diddy talk. Because
Facts.
Revolt is not Diddy. Diddy's the face. He's the poster boy. But, like, there's actual brews running that company.
It's an
Decisions that are
actual
being
company.
made that have nothing to do with Diddy.
Mm.
Diddy's just a public face and the rep of Revolt. That company is still gonna keep rocking. The moves that are happening, like nothing's gonna happen. Them niggas shouldn't even entertain that shit. Like,
And
big
they
moves.
haven't. Like I've seen, I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, man, that's just like
attending
that's Twitter
that.
shit.
Yeah, that shit is
Yeah.
just
That shit
jokes,
is
though.
big business. But
I don't
them
think
niggas-
there's anybody who doesn't acknowledge that that's big business. And also, I think it's fair to mention that because I watched their episode and they mentioned that Sbu was the one who bridged that type of deal for that to be possible
like
to
DJ
have.
Sbu.
Yeah, DJs because he's at Revolt as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah?
so
Wow,
apparently
that's
he's
dope.
the one who
So
plugged.
he was
So
instrumental in that.
shout
whole-
out to the OG for plugging the youngins. Yes,
Shout out.
that's
shout out.
and
that's
that's
OG
OG
shit.
shit,
That's
right?
OG shit. And
That's a real OG.
While you're still on Spoo,
Yeah.
you know Spoo gave me my first TV job on Friends Like This.
Oh shit! You did Friends Like This.
Yeah, I did Friends Like This. But behind the scene with the crew.
Yeah.
Spoo hooked me up with that. You know,
OG.
and it's the same production company. It's under Urban Brew. That's why I managed to move from Friends Like This to Yo TV.
Oh yeah, because you're working in the same
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard countless stories like these about Spoo. Like,
About
man,
DJ
this-
Yeah,
Spoo,
no,
man.
it really put me
real,
on. Mm.
real.
It's
nigga.
a real life OG.
real life, and he's so tapped in, even with the youngins. Like he's
Facts.
in there,
Yeah.
like he's talking to the niggas. Like that's OG
Give
shit.
me a call also, big homie. OG, now me I need some guidance and some mentoring. And also, we need you here on Choppin It, but we'll figure that out. Just to, before we leave all of that and the Diddy business, is it over for Diddy? Is this Diddy's demise? Yo, Diddy. How many Diddy's and Diddy's? Is this his demise? Because
I
this is
think-
kind of crazy.
I think it's it's a super stain on his legacy, but I don't think it'll. Well, if he survives the charges, let's say, right, and is in the free world, I think business-wise he can still operate. He just has to lay low or whatever the case is. But I don't think there's a comeback, because the only way those things happen is like if it's musical. Like you can commit the worst crimes, but if you can come back musically.
Speak on it.
If you come back
Yeah.
musically, people
That's
are
a
more
fact.
forgiving, you know. And I don't think Diddy's doing anything musically, so I think this thing will always be there.
Well, he did have a R&B album that he put out, which Diddy fans might have felt was fire. I think you're super right in what you're saying, and that for me is the question. That's the actual question: is for Diddy, the public persona. Does he have to go into if he doesn't go to jail, which it doesn't seem like he will, because he's settling his lawsuits, and he also won one. He won a lawsuit. I think one of the handles were lying on his name or something. So he won a lawsuit also. So it's not just strictly guilty. He's guilty on some of the ways, but anyway. So is there a possibility of him being able to, even if he doesn't go to jail, show his face on some level and say, yo, I'm on the gram and post and say I'm brother love and all that and push the rock and...
I think he needs to abide by the rules, because there's powers that be. There's powers that be. This was just a warning. So
Yeah.
I heard he was trying to buy some network, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, same shit Bill Cosby tried to do.
Okay, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that you opened the conspiracy box, because
Yeah.
that is a big part of a lot of the things that happen in Hollywood,
Yeah.
right? So I remember initially for me, when things started coming out about Diddy, my initial reaction was, hey, Diddy must have pissed off the Illuminati right now.
Done
Like,
something.
why is all of this happening? Because when you're a top guy like that, you're obviously in the class, allegedly. All of this is alleged. This is conspiracy talk, so none of it very obviously can be proven or whatever. But in our reading of the game that we play, he's obviously a top guy, billionaire status. That I don't think you achieve that without
Some little weird
certain
shit,
contracts,
Yeah.
right? Which is why certain things would come out about niggas at a certain stage. But that also works to your advantage in ways like if you are a filthy nigga that's like doing all sorts of, then those things never come out because they are able to
So
kill them off
Yeah.
before they hit the media.
They control the media. They run the
control
media.
It's
Yeah.
like, yo, this story is not running, this, that, and that. So for Diddy to be in the position is in and have been for this long and for all this stuff to come up about him, for me, felt like that. It was like, oh, nah,
Yeah.
he might have been trying to play the wrong things. So you're
yeah.
saying the word is what? He was trying to buy a network.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
I
want
think-
you to do that.
They don't want you to do that.
Me, this is my view on this whole thing. Like, I think with all these huge ass cases that end up coming out, you know, I think there's always more at play if maybe you just calm down and just like maybe just look at it or think objectively, you know. Like, things for me that strike me when things like these happen, it's like, okay, cool. Let's say some of these things are true, right?
Yeah.
I question why now?
The
Yeah,
timing.
why is it coming out now?
Why now? How did it happen? So, because not to say that it doesn't matter that it did happen, it's to say, but then you guys helped this thing be covered up until the moment it was
Until
needed
it's no
as a
longer
tool.
on the same
Yeah,
page.
it's when you step to Big Boss's toes. Remember, after Michael Jackson owned Sony Publishing, then the kids' story started coming
All
out.
these things started happening.
Similar thing.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
yeah,
he was buying people's masters. He was taking record companies. He's got stakes in movies. Like, I've watched this thing where it shows what Michael Jackson was
Exactly.
you know. So
and MJ was on big business. Like, so for me, those are the things that strike me. Like, I think, like, I'm not gonna walk around naive in the world, like, and believe that everything we see is true. Like, that's garbage.
And it
because-
is what they say it is.
because the lead people in exposing what the world is like when you watch movies and series, right? Those writers, they kind of show you like how this world works. You know, when you've seen these series where they, you know, presidential things and things have to get kept and things have to be made up about someone to take them out of position. You've seen all these games that are being played out that the public has
It's
known
not privy
nothing
to,
about.
yeah, facts.
They're the gullible people. That's just the crowd that they catch. So I do believe there are narratives that are spun or created with a certain intention in mind.
yeah, no, they
So-
are big bosses. That's why Kanye can lose a billionaire status in a day.
Yeah.
What happened to
It's
the,
like
all that
everybody
money?
switched
Yeah,
off all the
yeah.
powers.
Yes, it's,
You know.
it's a switch. And that's how you see, because for me, I think like if you're as a regular person to get in trouble for whatever filth you've done,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's such a process to get that kicked off and to see how quick these things are happening.
Yeah,
There are
that's-
powers behind to make sure this
The push
reaches-
is strong.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that Diddy's innocent. I don't know nothing. I don't know Diddy from a bar of soap. I don't know the type of nigga he is. You know,
It's
so
a party animal.
yeah, what I know is what the public knows. But for me, I just think, I don't know, man. Some of these things may be true. I don't think there's rumors that come up from nothing, absolutely nothing.
I don't think things come from thin air.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely not the case. You know, if there's something there, there's definitely something there.
Because,
It's
I
just
mean,
the card up their sleeve, like, okay, we know Diddy does this and that and that. Let's wait until he misbehaves.
And for me, that's the issue. To finish my point is that then there's no justice to this shit. Because I can't be happy to say Diddy's finally getting his day in court, because it's like his day should have been. You guys held this shit
the
back.
motive behind it is
Yes,
not just
you guys held this shit back until
Yeah,
you guys were ready
facts.
to use it against him. So do we celebrate that and say, yeah, this is justice? It's not true justice. Like, there's a motive
It's
here.
just a play.
Yeah.
But if these things were happening and you guys came out with it and dealt with it on site, then yeah, that's justice. So for me, that's the thing. That's where I stand. I just think like, I don't really know, man. I just gotta watch how it plays out.
And before we go back to the culture, just for some other legal trouble that is happening right now, but obviously locally, Kelly Kumalo was fingered by one. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my! I was like, what?
Pause. Respectfully. My goodness.
But
But,
she was.
but that's the language
Yeah,
of the.
she was.
That's the legal language.
Yes, just that the people won't
Yeah.
get the terminology.
That's what
But
they
also
use.
my
Yeah.
pause also was uncalled for. I shouldn't have. I should have continued. It's better when you hit the whole sentence.
Yeah.
Feel you.
But so she was fingered by one of the accused as, yeah, well, as
Not one, but three. Three of them.
three of the accused as the mastermind behind the death.
Which
of,
in layman's terms, that person was named. She was named as...
yeah, she was named. Yes, for the layman's term. My goodness, this also is something that has been lingering in her life for the past, 10 years now?
Yeah, over the whole side.
Yeah. 10 years since 2014.
Is when he passed
I can't
away.
believe it took so long.
Is this one justice?
I think we have to wait till the wrap up because I'm hearing there's evidence. You know, if she's been named by people who are
The culprits,
Yeah.
yeah.
culprits themselves, then you know there has to be some kind of truth to that.
Yeah, the thing about criminal cases, they need to be proven beyond
Yes.
reasonable doubt, you know.
Facts.
So we'll wait and find out whether she's guilty or not.
That's when I think I'll know if it's justice or not. I think for now, I'm just happy there's progress. I mean, it's been 10 years, bro, and this is a high-profile case.
High profile, big dog.
And
Yeah.
it's just been so disappointing to see the justice system fail the people in front of everybody with all kinds of
Crazy.
arrests, bogus arrests that were made, and, you know, just the
Even
circus it's been.
Yeah, even his pops ending up passing away because his pops
Get
passed
me.
away, né?
Ended up-
having
yeah.
not seen justice.
Imagine, bro, there's Netflix shits about this. Like, we've seen this thing go on for
But I
you
mean,
so
think-
it
long.
happens.
Do you think if she was male, should continue to get gigs and airplay as normal as nothing happened?
Nah, hell
No,
no.
hell no. I think
Hell no.
as a male, you would have been struck down on sight.
Yeah,
As soon as there's
Like-
a stench.
because look at how it happened with Java. No,
Public opinion.
No court case, no evidence.
The court
no,
of public opinion
Yeah.
takes
and it
care
was
of
like
it.
it took everything away from him, and I love the fact that he's been able to bounce back. That's one of the things that make me the happiest, just on a
Super.
artist story and trajectory. It's
Yeah.
like seeing Java being able to make it back up and be
Yeah,
back
no, he
booming
came back.
and
He
I
came
was
back
looking
strong.
double,
at the-
triple up.
I was looking at the Isbugo album with him and Raf, like the work they're
Father!
doing, the tours, the shows.
Yeah.
This is all just also on the low. They just hitting the work, you know. So it's good
God
to
will
see that.
double up those blessings
Yeah,
if
man.
you, especially if you take your lashes humbly,
Yeah,
which
take it on the chin.
Java did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he took it on the chin. He
He's
didn't
done that
take
a
it out
couple
on the
times.
world.
He's
He
not
didn't
ambitious. On
Yeah.
the chin, worked
Like
it out like
he-
a man.
took it on the chin and just did his work, and said his prayers, and that's why his
Yeah,
life
so
is what it
You're
is right
saying
now.
if you were a guy, you don't think he would have?
Nah, they would have wrapped her up, and she
I
was
believe
still
so.
doing shows and TV shows until recently. Nah? Till
Yeah.
it kind of got a bit more smoky.
And if you
then
think
it's
about it,
like-
how many years in, still living?
yeah,
that?
10
hella
years later.
hella years in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And also, for me, something that I've always thought of, off of Kelly Kumalo and her drama, but like, when something follows somebody on that level, like, because you've seen these type of stories on, like, the crime documentaries. I don't know if you niggas watch the crime.
I'm all
The
way
crime
tapped
channel
in.
is on
I'm
fire,
super
niggas.
tapped
Don't
in.
get it twisted. So it's like you watch shit like that, it's like, yo, this thing, something that even in the laws of nature, I don't think something that isn't attached to you can chase you for that long without
can't.
being like something that you're involved in.
Yeah, you can't. It would clear
It
up
would clear
without
if it's
you
not,
even needing to get up and say something. Like, time is the biggest test. You know, if someone accuses all three of us here of something and one of us has done this thing, even if none of us ever speak,
Yeah.
someday the lights will shine on that thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And
It'll show.
also for the person that did it, it will chase them closer.
really
Like
chase
it'll
them.
when something is yours, it's on
it's
you.
yours.
You carry it, and that's obviously a spiritual realm thing that we
I
can
think
get
that's
into
pretty
on a
telling.
different day. Yeah.
I think that's pretty telling because that ties in even with the what we're saying about Java. It's like, I think if you're so horrible and you do such filthy things, I don't think the world can reward you like this.
On the level that is
Yeah.
being rewarded on now.
Especially when your demise was televised.
Yes, and everybody hopped in.
Yes.
And then
everybody.
also when you
Like, they
look at
lynched
the
him.
accuser also,
The thing
and you
is,
look at what's
Yeah.
happening
What's
on
been
that side.
yeah, the thing is, even if you don't know the nitty gritties of the story,
Yes.
you can tell that no, Java is innocent, but Didi. You know, you can.
There's a
They can't
difference.
There's a
Different,
difference, yeah. You know,
I fuck with that. Yeah, let's leave them topics alone and get back to
Also,
what we are
not the law.
professionals
We are
at.
not
Yeah,
the
we
law.
are not the law.
it's opinions. It's,
Yeah,
it's not.
we're just
yeah.
reporting on the news
Yeah.
of the culture, and of course, this is cultural for all South Africans. We don't only deal with hip hop issues. This is a South African issue. The
it
death
is.
of Senzo Meyiwa is like
Very big.
in there.
Goddamn.
Back in our culture, back in our pocket, doing what we do. Maclera posted in the lab with Pori. What do we expect from that?
In terms of music,
Musically? Like, because for me, having been around Pori when he was still enthused and had some energy to do hip-hop, I saw him when he cut that out of his life, and I was like, nah, this hip-hop thing of yours is wasting our time. Yeah, but this thing that we're doing here with the Anos is the real business, and he fully has given his attention to that. So seeing Clara out there in the headquarters, they call it the headquarters, the
definitely
Yano
headquarters.
headquarters, which it is the headquarters out
Yeah.
there. Are we expecting Clary on the Yano?
For me, I wouldn't put it past Pori to maybe dive in and check if Maglera would be interested in doing such a thing. But for me, like with Pori, dog, Pori is an endless source, you know. I've seen him in action, like, he can dive into all types of shit. So
Definitely.
he could just be there, maybe even just showing Maglera, like, yo, maybe if you fuck with this, if you fuck with that, you know.
Or it's not just Yano, it could be
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Afrobeats.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he could even just be helping him up his shit, like looking at him from the outside, looking in, saying,
Speak
yo,
on it, yeah.
I think as Maglera, if you can hit this pocket because you're such a cloth that is very South African, but you're also such a rare breed that is new in the game. So maybe you can expand on it.
I mean-
With a new voice also.
Pori
Pori's a mind.
Pori gave us Ngutu. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
So I think he can do some hip hop, maybe with a lock drum. You don't know. He's versatile. Pori is versatile. So you don't know what to expect from that collaboration.
Even for me, seeing an artist around Pori, I don't even always expect music because I think Pori is one of the best OGs and A&Rs
One of
and
the
ears.
greatest of
Yeah.
all
And just
time.
one of the greatest to ever touch anything musical, you know. And I think he's still the ears and eyes in the streets. He's still tapped in, and he's never fronted on anybody's talent. And he may not produce anything musically with you, but he might bring you to the 38th floor, kick it out there, give you some knowledge, you know.
The
Fuck
38th
with you.
floor out there.
Don't get it twisted.
Insane.
You know, I think for
Going
me,
crazy.
Pori does that a lot. He's given so much free game. He's helped artists in the game
He
so
made
much.
a lot of people eat.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
always musical. Like, look at his relationship even with an A. Reese, you know. It may not always
Facts.
materialize musically, but behind the scenes, that's his OG. He'll say, like, that's my OG, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's love there,
Pori
there's
is
insight
that.
there,
Yeah.
there's guidance.
He's a life changer.
Yeah, this guy. So I don't think it's always musical when I see, you know, I think everybody, if they haven't experienced it, needs to meet a Pori, rub shoulders, and just peep the mind and how it operates.
Yeah.
You know, there's no luck on him being able to touch so many careers and lives.
Yeah.
It's not luck, you know. So
And his ability to hit the bullseye also is not luck.
Voilà,
It's
he's
the-
shooting from
Yeah.
the hip.
Yeah, it's because of how experienced he is.
Yeah,
Like,
so artists are likely to gravitate towards him because they always feel like. Also, he's one of the most approachable.
he's a real
OGs,
nigga.
Yeah.
big dogs, like who are really still in the game, you know, that you can actually pull up on. Pori is such a human being. Like, you see him fuck with the niggas. and he'll surprise them and be like, yo, I know such and such, I know such and such, you know. The kids be shocked, like, yo, this is crazy. How is this guy so tapped in? So I think people are just always going to gravitate towards the party. So to wrap up my point, I don't think it'll always materialize to music, but we might see a different trajectory from that artist.
I think you hit it on the nose out there, like directly on the nose. And there's a clip of his that's going around where he touched on owning the products that come from his studio. But I'll play it. We're still plugged in out there, sound guy from Choppin It. I'll play what he said and then we can react to that, yeah? Because I saw you also there on the net, Aya, coming in there and giving us.
When you record music in my computer, in my studio, in my shit. When you record music in my computer, in my studio, in my shit, in my electricity, that shit is mine, belongs to me. You must understand that one. No, no, let's say, Lord. Ke nna ke rekang dijo, ke nna ke rekang metsi, ke nna ke rang, ke electricity ya, ke computer ya, e rekile ke nna. So wena o una man, wa tshwantse o ne lo tse sa tlang ka tsona, sa dira. So you must understand, when you work on somebody's studio, that shit is not yours. So mara ka studio sa hao, o reke di-plugins tsa hao, o reke Fruity Loops, o reke mic, o reke eng, then o ire dipina, then o di-release, then tseo ke tsa hao, ke di-master tsa hao.
Hey, Pori kills me.
Yeah.
Pori kills me just as a nigga.
Yeah.
So, to paraphrase and just summarize, break down what he's saying. What he's saying is, if you come and work at my studio, don't expect that what we create here is yours, is your song, or belongs to you. And what he's prefacing that with is, that's the right word, right?
Yeah.
Preface. What he's prefacing that with is, if you come to my establishment and use my equipment and my resources, how is what you've created here yours if you just came with just your vocal? Let's say you maybe come here and make a song. So now, let me maybe give some context as to where it's coming from, and then we can react to that, because I've been in a situation where he's had to have this conversation with somebody, and I understood it, right? And obviously, I'm somebody who has lived at Pori land and dealt with Pori and been in this situation. So what Pori means by this is, just like when you are hired on the 9-to-5 handle, which is what my response was on Twitter. I was like, why is everybody mad at this? Because it's not like you guys own any of what you produce at the companies you work for either. It's like, you don't go to your boss's office space, sit in the chair he gave you, work on the laptop that he gave you, to do research on the work that he's put on your lap, to say then the work that I've made here is mine and belongs to me. It's like, the business just doesn't work that way. And that is the sentiment that he's sharing there, because he's been in situations where Pori, like and people come to Pori's studio to come work with Pori. So people will come there and make a song and it'll be fire. And maybe Pori will want to put it out as his song, and then the person will feel like, nah, but this is my song. I thought we were making this for me. It's like, but how is it? And what I wanted to close off with before you guys comment is, then there were people who are coming in and saying, but if you are paying for the session, do you not own the material that you're making? First of all, Pori does not run a public studio. Like, you can't pay to go have a session at Pori's studio. It's not a public studio.
How much would he even charge you?
That would be a crazy amount. What you go to, like, even being able to go to Pori's studio is not something you can pay for.
There's no money on that.
Yeah, you earn that, like, by having a certain level of talent and being brought into that space somehow. You find yourself there. Yeah. So when you get to Pori's place, there will always be him, producers, other artists, and this and that. So how music comes together at Pori's place is with all of this, that the lifestyle that is happening here. So if you come out here, you're probably going to end up jumping on a beat that either he made or this nigga made or this nigga made, and all of this happened right here. Yeah. And you're going to record here, they're going to mix it here, and so how is it then your song?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Pori is 100% correct. Everything recorded in that studio belongs to that studio. You know, the only difference is when you pay for it. If Pori said, I need, for a recording session, I need like 2,000 Rand an hour, whoever pays for the recording owns the masters, you know. But if it's done for free, people come to Pori and they're not paying anything, he owns everything. He's absolutely right.
Definitely, because that's not the case. Like Pori does, like I said, he doesn't run like a studio where everybody can just come and pay and record. No.
It's not like downtown studios. If you go there, you book
2 hours,
yeah, 2 hours.
3,000.
Yeah, you pay and you take your stuff
and you go.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with it.
For me, this is my take. I've got a few. So the first one is that I think because it's a Pori and it's a black person you can see and touch, I think it pains people to hear him enforce or instill what is already in play. Because when it happens to other artists that you don't know who the execs or the people who run the studios are, people always shit on the artist who's crying. They say, but you guys are dumb, you didn't read your contracts. So you guys can tell those people to look through their paperwork, but not understand that even by law, what Pori is saying is factual.
Yeah.
Because
without any contract, Pori is right. You'll never win that case.
You will never in your fucking life win that case.
Yeah, the problem is artists don't have this information. They don't know. That's why they go publicly and say, hey, Pori took my song. Pori stole my song.
And to finish that point is the fact that the people who are making these comments know nothing about this thing. Like, if you look at the comments, the people who are agreeing with what Pori is saying are people who have an educated opinion on the business. These are just people who are feeling like Pori's being a bully, so now just because you bought water and electricity, now you own the song. My nigga, you don't even have a studio. You don't have a studio.
You don't even know how this shit works.
You don't know how this thing works. You don't know what it takes. You don't know what it costs to run a studio.
You've never made a song.
You've never run a label. You've never helped anybody with anything.
You've never changed anybody's life.
You don't know what that takes.
Just on Twitter talking.
Pori is also saying to you that this is how it runs in studio. Not once did he say that people who come into my studio pay. Where do you guys get this from? These people who are saying, but now if you pay for studio, who said they're paying? No one has ever paid for studio time at Pori's.
Yeah, no, artists need to read on music business.
No one has ever done.
It once happened with Makadzi and King Monada. You know, they recorded a song together at King Monada's studio. And then King Monada took out the song as his.
Yeah.
Dog, this thing also for me, you can't put value to studios where people bring other people and life changes, because I can tell you countless stories of people's lives changing there, not directly even by signing to Pori, which there's
just
a large
coming
number. Coming there. Other people who meet other people. There's things that, it's like a magical portal that's there, and it's afforded by the people who've put in the work.
Who Pori lets in.
Yes, it's about coming in.
You actually can't even afford the type of opportunity that this. You can't actually pay for this. Yeah,
you can't go to Pori.
There's no price on it.
Pori, let me come to your house, dog. I'll give you whatever money if you have.
Do we have such a thing in hip hop?
Oof, that's a good question. We don't. I think the closest thing to that would have been Ricky Rick and the way he was moving with the youngins.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Pori level.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think he
but he was the closest thing. But I guess he would have become that.
Yeah.
He was becoming that, and he was building that. I think KO has made attempts to be that. Maybe he's not as good at being that guy as a Ricky would have been, or however else everybody else was doing it. I feel like Casper has made attempts.
Yeah, imagine
and
if
he
Casper,
has put
imagine
on-
if Casper were to invite producers and rappers to his house like Pori does.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
On a 24/7 type handle.
It would
Like,
be
yo,
crazy.
the
Not as
doors
a
are
camp for
open
his
here.
music.
You know what I mean?
Because for Pori, you guys must understand, like for people who don't know this, Pori's house is like a creative hub. Wherever Pori is, dog, it's
Yeah.
a creative hub. You can literally see anybody walk through that door at any time. And that is very life-changing. You can't put a price, even your label can't do that for you.
Yeah, they can't even give you that.
They can't give you that. So
Yeah.
to walk around and say, and even these artists maybe who make a song and say, Pori took my song. It's like, bro, what song?
What
Like,
song?
Yeah.
man?
this very producer, this beat you got on, let's say it's a Bhuda T beat. In the
Yeah.
day in your life, you would have never met this guy, firstly.
Even if you hit
No,
him
no.
in the DM, you would have never
would've
got
never
that
got
beat
to
from him.
The producer already owns 50% of the song.
Already.
How many people are in the song? What's your split shit percentage?
Yeah. And Port is just mainly saying the products that come out of this establishment, because this is an establishment.
This is an
Yeah.
establishment.
And also,
bro.
what people don't put into account also is the level of sacrifice that Pori
They don't understand.
had to
bro.
make for this to even be possible.
They don't
Pori
understand.
sacrificed his own personal life
personal space.
he's literally using his actual house. Well,
Yes.
now he has been able to afford to leave artists and producers in that house and stay in a different space, which he still uses as that,
as the same
because
thing.
that's how he lives. But you have to understand that this guy is sacrificing his personal life. Like, he can't have me time with this girl at the crib where it's just on
can't.
a full-on jolo level. Like,
He
just
can't.
the
He's too
hit a
busy making
week where,
history. He's too
Yeah.
busy
where
making
he's just
history.
in the cheeks and in the pillow talk. He can't do that because
And,
he
dog,
sacrificed his space.
If you look at that whole thing, it's easy for people to just speak on it, but name people who have done that, who've not even held people contractually. Do you guys understand, firstly, the space you are walking in, how much it costs to live here, the rates, the food,
And Pori will bust up a feast. He feeds people
every
like,
single day.
Pori doesn't host like the trapping studio sessions
No,
where it's
no
like,
one's going hungry there, my brother.
where it's like, yo, we just have
You're
Weed and
smoking the
alcohol.
best.
weed and alcohol or lean. It's
Yeah.
like
You're
when you're at a
fed.
Pori session, there's like 10 bottles of Henny, there's like 5 bottles of and 10 bottles of Jaeger, and
The best weed in the
there's
country is
meals
there.
like that. Every like 8, 12 people will eat, and there'll be leftovers. You can go back for more. It's like
This is an everyday occurrence,
this
mind
is
you.
he's doing this. He's running the ship
For
every
years.
day.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
years.
So people don't take that into account, that even for us to be able to be here 24/7, rocking out where we're in the zone like this, and
It's
on the
afforded by
most
this one
comfortable
man.
level, this man is providing that very space and the possibility
Dog,
for that space.
people spit on Pori's face, and I hate it because if you look at, there's no person who's putting in that much who's not binding artists. There's so many artists that Pori has given the platform and didn't even sign them.
Yeah.
Just let
Yeah.
them be.
Of the strength.
And he created that and afforded them that opportunity and still say, no, do your thing, my brother. All
Free
good.
free brand association.
Free everything. Got free
everything.
studio.
Yeah.
Production, like
He's changing people's
Let you rock
actual
out.
lives. He's putting money behind these things. People just talk about, yeah, I own my masters. Guys, actually do some research. Like, talk to actual artists and understand what it takes to even run a functional studio, let alone a Pori style of studio.
yo, and then to have countless hits
Dog, a WizKid can
and
just walk in
platinums
here.
and golds.
Yeah.
A WizKid can just walk in here right now and just start record. Like, those things you can't, dog, even your
You can't
label.
buy that.
You can't put
They
money
can't
on that.
get you that.
They can't buy
Like, you
that.
could be signed to anywhere. They can't reach Wiz and say, yo, Wiz, peep this joint. And
Bro.
how? They don't
can't.
even know who to call to get to them
Who would
type
they even
of-
call? So yeah, people who are having that take, I think it's just people who are hypocritical. One, because when companies do it, they shit on the artist and say, read your contracts.
Yeah.
But they don't apply the same laws when it comes to studio etiquette and how things actually move.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a black man who's here that we can point at. We say,
And it
no.
doesn't even tie them up with a contract.
Zero, dog.
And I was gonna touch on that to close it. It's also the black man thing, because a
Yes.
lot of what the type commentary you see, it's like people expect you to run your business in an Ubuntu style, and it's
Fuck
like
that. Ubuntu's not playing the
it's
bills.
like, how is this business? And it was like, but as a black man, it's like, what did all these black man things
He's
have to
also
do
a
with
black
anything?
man who had nothing.
Yes, but also he's running a business. This has nothing
He
to do with
built
his
this
skin
business.
color.
He
Yes.
built this thing. You get what I mean? So
no,
yeah, I
that-
think it's very
That
hypocritical.
perspective is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Get over that. Get to know the business. It will be much better for you yourself, actually, when you get into business, because you'll have a clear understanding that people are not here to be my friend or to be kind to me. That's not how business works. Like, when you
all.
get into business spaces, people are there to obtain their objective, whatever that may be.
Yes.
And most of the time is to make money.
Yes, and also kids, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Woo!
Precisely.
Talk that shit.
That's it. Have the
That's
talk.
fire. Java said, first of all, did you see him freestyle on David Mashabela's? It's David Mashabela, ne?
The goats.
It is, yeah, the goat chopper. David Mashabela on David Mashabela's podcast. Did you see that? What's that? The Lang Alami joint and he just hit up the top of the dome. Stop
Guys,
playing,
Java.
guys.
Java, one.
What are we talking about?
And I'm seeing through those
Java
things
is a
countless times.
different beast. What kills me the most about him doing that and that clip coming out was the fact that I think 2 days before that, Enzo had just tweeted he could debate with anybody that Java is more hip-hop than the most of us,
Facts.
which I agree with him on. And
Yeah.
obviously people came in there, as usual, the uninformed came in screaming from the top of their lungs, saying all sorts of shit. Then that clip comes out. It's like, just look at this guy.
Who is more hip hop than this right now?
Look at this guy. They just gave him a beat right now, and he just went.
This is Java, guys. Like, the
Yeah.
perception you guys have of him and the music he makes, and he's never afraid. I've never seen Java shy away from that moment. I've seen him even in real life with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, he'll go at it, and he's not even your rapper's rapper. You guys don't even take him as a rapper. But I don't even see rappers moving like that themselves. Like, on radio stations or whatever, on post, they're
You're
going to tell
getting
you.
a rapper to rap right now on live on radio.
Oh, they're going to tell you, oh, dog, come on. You should have sent me the beats.
But Java has always been hip hop in terms
Java
of
is hip-hop.
lifestyle.
Super.
It's not just music, man. That's
Yeah.
why Chris Brown is hip hop. That's why
Yeah, facts.
that's why Mary J. Blige is hip hop. People
Yeah.
expect you to rap.
Nah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I point out that clip as him being hip hop, because what he did, it's not like he didn't rap. He was singing.
Yeah.
It's like a freestyle, his rap singing.
Yeah.
It's like, but how he handled that moment is what is hip hop
That is
about.
hip-hop.
Yes.
And his ability to just get in there, top of the dome, and freestyle that joint like that is
That's
hip
hip-hop
hop. Yeah, he gets
Yeah,
that
and
from being a hip hop
a,
nigga.
it's got a lot of feature verses where he's rapping.
This
Dog,
we know.
Yeah.
Java, I've seen him. Like, even with the Quellas, he did the same thing now. They were at
I saw that too.
by Zeus. Zeus runs a studio called Rap Academy, or it's a movement. He was there with new age kids, rapping with them. Kids are losing. Like, Java is ultra hip hop, and he's
He's
probably
ultra.
tapped in more than all these niggas. I've seen Java catch him listening to certain people that, like, we are catching early in the stage. He knows them, he listens to them, he's probably in talks with them.
Even
Yeah.
when he breaks down the bars, like, he's a very tapped in, even.
Java is extremely hip-hop.
Java is crazy about
We
hip-hop.
claims Java.
You know,
Hell yeah.
I was with him because this soccer thing where hip hop
Oh,
plays
yes.
against Goma, against
Yes.
the Mapiano. So I was coaching the hip hop team.
You guys run that thing also, no?
Yeah. So I'm coaching the
OG
hip hop
shit.
team.
OG
So it happens every year. You know.
That's fire.
Yes, Java is always
Java-
trapping like crazy.
He's
there.
a hella trap.
Also,
Yeah.
guys, please do your your Googles on what being hip hop is, it's not about rapping. That's not the only thing that makes you hip hop. Someone can stand here and rap. I could say he's not hip hop.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. You get me?
Hey, so,
Of course.
I swear to you, there are people who rap that are not hip hop.
Just look at you like, this guy's not hip hop. You get what I mean? So guys, it's not about rap.
There are people
music.
who don't rap, like your Ili, your Sihle, who are hip hop.
Who are more hip hop than rappers.
Yes.
Scoop is hip hop. He doesn't rap.
Scoop is hip hop.
Scoop is more hip hop than a lot of people.
You know,
people
people
think-
think hip hop is rap. Rap is one element of hip hop.
And Scoop does rap, by the way. Scoop got bars. Yeah, shit. Throwing them bars around.
So yeah.
But what I did want to say about Chava is I saw a tweet of his where he was thanking Mash Beats for having him on the Never Ride remix.
Yeah.
And said, I'm paraphrasing, don't ever let them tell you any different. This is a classic top 5 South African hip-hop remix. Yeah, I think it says it's a hip-hop top 5 SA hip-hop remix. Is Never Ride
I've got a
the top 5? And what is the top 5? We already been in trouble for the lists.
You're
but,
starting again. You're starting again.
but here we are.
Yeah, but I do agree that Never Ride remix is top 5. You know, we have Amantombazana remix.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Okay, wait, before we start counting.
Yeah, before we break them down.
For me, the reason why I'd even put it in the top 5, besides the musical critique of it, is the fact that, one, we haven't even been having any hip-hop remix. Hip-hop hasn't been together.
Yeah.
You know? So for Mash to create that moment, that alone, for me, qualifies it, you know? Because we don't have
Definitely
that,
as a classic, yeah.
you know? And when you look at the lineup, the mixture of people, there's new age people and there's the previous classes there. You know, you can find your Saudis, you can find us Java. Imagine finding us Java
Youngster.
with the Lucas Rabs in the mix. Like,
and words and...
yeah, and to put that together, for me,
Pussy
Crazy, yeah.
that's extremely hip-hop, because also hip-hop hasn't been together. We haven't seen the unity. We haven't seen the camaraderie. We haven't seen the love. You know, it's been everyone for himself, you know. So for that to exist and be created in today's time was beautiful. So
Part
I
of
think
the reasoning why we gave Mash MVP.
that's what I was saying. Mash for me is
Mash has been doing some
extreme
serious work.
contribution.
So is it top 5 though? And what is the top 5?
I think it is top 5.
It is top 5.
Okay,
but how many
let's run
do we
through
have actually?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do before.
So it's
let's run through
Amantombazane.
remixes.
That's always the one that comes first to mind.
Yeah,
But
Amantombazana
now
was
I
a
think,
crazy remix.
do we not go back also? 'Cause
No, let's just count them for now,
Oh,
and then
the
we can
existence.
rank them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to count like which ones
So
exist.
there's
that we
the
know.
Tido one. What was that? It was a soccer player's name or something. What was that song called?
Steve something.
Steve
Kekana.
Kekana, yeah,
He's
it's not a soccer
player.
Respect me.
So
You were thinking Steve Lecolea.
that's the Steve joint. That's
There's that one.
Yeah.
There's Do Like I Do top 5. There's Do Like I Do.
There's Do Like I Do.
So that's 3.
There's Now or Never, DJ Switch, the remix.
Shit, there's
Yeah.
that. There's
There's
the-
Baddest remix.
There's
Back
Baddest with
remix.
all the girls.
Are we counting where there's gang people or just remixes?
Just
Nah,
remix, as long as
is
it's
it
an
not the
official
gang
remix.
thing?
I'm trying to think
ones.
about the gang because that makes it easier. Because then we can start going to like easy remix, like Juice Bag remix, Roll Up remix, you know. Or are we counting the
No, a
one where
remix
there's-
is a remix, whether it's 2 people or 5 people.
That's what I want to
fair.
compare.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's what I want to
Shit.
make sure of that we
Okay, then
clarify.
there's Juice
There's
Bag
the Juice
remix.
Bag, the MC, the
And then
Roll
the
Up.
17, the 17
The
remix.
17 remix.
Oh, there's many.
Okay, then
Roll
let's
Up.
just delve into top 5.
Yeah.
What's top 5?
Here we go again.
Is Amantombazane number 1?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it top 1?
Is it number? Oh, wait, I didn't say number 1. I'm agreeing that it's there. Let me think first if it's number 1 or what. I don't know. Let's keep naming though.
If it's not,
We just did.
Amantombazane,
Now let's
what is
position
it?
them.
Yeah.
We just named them. Now we're positioning them.
Trying to think. Number 1. I guess it's the most memorable one.
It's the most impactful one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think about it though.
That's the biggest remix moment where it felt like, I know there's a remix that's like,
Yeah.
it's now a real remix, like
Yeah.
rocking the country. It's like, oh, Amantombazane remix.
Remix wave.
Yeah, the remix.
Yeah, the remix wave was was a wave. Because Steve Kekana caught that same wave and the Do Like I Do. Is that top 3? And does Mesh already crack in there?
I'd say yes.
I'd say yes. I think he has better remix than some of those other ones. Where are we putting Mesh? Does he follow right after Matopazani?
I think I would give him.
I'd put him at number 2.
I think I have to
I'd put him at number 2.
I think I have to
That's
give
not
him.
fair.
I'd put him in number 2
why is
after
it not fair?
Amantombazane.
This is where we gotta hear everyone.
But why is it not
Yeah.
fair, though?
Why is it not fair?
I mean, if we look at when Amantombazane came out, and we're speaking about Mesh and them, and
But this is all time, though.
the people who are on the song,
We're ranking all
Yes, but
time.
we're working all time.
Yeah.
It's not.
So
up to
now we're
us.
saying, if these are all the remixes we have,
Yeah.
is Mash's remix good enough to come stand at number 2, inclusive of all the remixes? Is that a no? No? No, no.
It has
That's
to be
a yes for
justified,
me.
though.
It's a
Okay, so
yes for me.
justified and no.
It has to be
It's a
justified.
yes from the panel here. Justify. Grab a mic and justify. If you're going to justify, just get closer to the mic. We're running a live show, so do it quickly.
So are we basing this on
On the song.
the song one, but also in
And
terms of if we were to talk about impact, I think there's no way you can touch the 2 that you mentioned, which is Re-Up and even if we were to go to
that's it.
Juice Back. And this is
Real
in
shit.
terms of if we look at, even if Roll Up, the Re-Up were to play now, everyone would rap the WizKid part, word for word, where you even put on some Venek.
Okay, I think
He's got a point. He's got a point.
an amazing
So in terms
point.
of cultural impact and bridging the gap in terms of continental, already that one song cannot be
it's
touched
whooping
by
their asses.
any.
You're absolutely right, and because of that, shout out. That's Dice, by the way. Dice is here with us, Choppin It also. He's right, and because of that, I think we need to make this distinction. I think it's top 5 DJ remixes, because the DJ remixes are the Mania Man remixes.
That's why I wanted to clarify that.
It has to be
It
that,
has to be
because when we add the other
the
niggas'
little
shit,
other ones, dog, we smoking some niggas and it's a bit terrible.
and it's unfair.
It's a little unfair.
So it's the Mania
to be the
nigga
Many Man
DJ
level.
So
remixes.
are you guys gonna look? So are we now
And
saying?
it's not a DJ, it's a producer, but it's sort of the same thing.
So are you guys saying? Are we gonna base it on the song or the lyrics in the song? But I'm assuming we're gonna base it like on the song as a whole.
The song, yeah.
So I have
And
to
the
say
impact,
is
of course.
Amantombazane, but then after that,
And Amantombazane is number 1.
Ah,
We all agree, yes?
that's number one. You
Yes,
can't fight
okay,
it.
fine, yes.
But then after that, probably it's either Do Like I Do or Now or Never. I think Now or Never came out at a time where everyone was trying to show that they can rap as well.
I
The
can
original.
live with Do Like I Do, I
I
think.
can live with Do Like I Do a little bit. But
I can
wait,
live with Do Like I Do coming
at which
before.
number?
On a song and impact level, I think it's
on
a
which
bigger
number?
song, number 2, as in coming before Mesh Beats with Never Ride. I can ride with that. You're right.
So
Sure.
also to clarify
Pause.
for the audience is that
Yeah.
the 2 that he named, we no longer put it on the list because we're
They're
rating the type
overqualified.
of remix.
the
Yes, which is why I didn't want to.
yeah. No, I've established that.
Yeah,
that
so
we are
the
now
juice
on
bags
the
and those other remixes we
producer
can't compare.
/ DJ
So we're doing
remixes.
the Many Men one, where
Yeah.
the producer DJs ones. Okay, cool. So the number 1 we have Amantombazane.
Facts.
At 2 we're sitting with
Do Like I Do.
Do Like I Do.
Can we live with Do Like I Do coming before Mesh? I can't fight that.
I can't fight it.
If I'm keeping
trying to
it
think.
all the way a stack.
Yeah, I think
Do
still
Like I Do,
can
more
take it.
impact, bigger song,
You can take it.
more classic
yeah,
than
definitely
Never
more classic.
Ride. I think that's fair.
Number 3.
Does he make number 3 then? You're saying Never Ride. I can put him before Never Ride.
Who?
Mesh.
Mesh.
What?
Mesh is never right.
No, not Never Ride. Now or Never.
Oh, Now or Never. Okay.
I can put him before the Now or Never remix. Because that's the other one you brought up, no? Yeah.
So
He said Do Like I Do or Never Ride.
So we have 4 now.
So
Wait,
what's
do
the
we
Now
all
Never?
agree though? What, Now or Never? That was the DJ Switch one.
Yeah, DJ Switchman.
with Eagle, was it Reason and
Questa.
Questa? Then there was a remix with like Rouge and all of them.
Yeah, I don't put it above.
Above Mesh is Never Right, no?
Not for me.
I don't put it above Never Right. Are we going
Yeah,
with
the
that?
remix doesn't. The original was
Yeah, the original
had more
was-
impact, but the remix,
The remix,
didn't do
I
much.
don't put it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does that mean? He can take the third spot?
Yeah.
For now, yeah.
Mash can occupy.
What other remixes were there? So that's 3.
Baddest.
It's 4.
Baddest.
The baddest is culturally it did the most. Those were
But
powerhouse.
we're leaving out
hum.
the artist and their remixes.
So we can't put
Yeah.
that one in.
because that's not a DJ.
But
and
then that makes
Just
the
as the
list
many
very
men.
tough, eh?
It
Yeah,
does.
it's
Of
just
DJs.
it's those ones. It's the
Yeah,
Steve
but it's easier for
Kekanas.
us
And
to-
I think Steve Kekana doesn't come before Never Right.
Ay, not for me.
Sure.
Oh,
not
Tito
a
also.
DJ,
That's
yeah.
why he makes
But
the
it
list
was a
so hard.
Mania Man.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying about Baddest. Baddest is a mania man.
It was a Mania Man.
Well, mania women, but
Yeah, many. You know, the Mania women.
We don't have a lot by the DJs.
Okay, so then the Mania Man remixes. We
I
have to
almost
add.
named the song, but it's not a remix.
What was it?
I was thinking about
There's a
Dimples,
Mania
the
Man
Casper,
original.
and you know when they're moving like that, the Casper.
What about
JR,
the 17 remix with Black Laz, Pro, Double HP, Zakwe?
That's not a DJ.
Yeah.
No, we said
But is
we
it Mania Man? It was Mania Man. Was it Mania Man?
So
It
we're doing the
was.
many men.
It was a Many Man remix.
yes,
no?
it was Many Men. It was not a DJ,
Shout
but
out
it was
to-
Many Men.
Okay, so
Shout
we're
out
doing
to,
the many
wait,
men.
let me send a shout out. Let me do my sponsors to Inkab Zezo and Bhuda for the swag. My
So-
lady, please help me out.
I wanted
think I'm burning now
I
under
wanted to
these
make
lights.
a comment, but I saw it during. I didn't want to disturb your child. I'm seeing the big Zulu here.
Because
So
I'm
I'm thinking,
taking it off now, so I don't want to take it off before, you know.
nah, it looks fire.
Yeah, it's a fire.
Okay, my question is: so the many men, we have to do the many men, whether DJ or not. If it has the many
yeah,
men,
Many Men remix. Yes.
but if it's the
whatever the producer is.
yeah, it has to be the many men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So 17 was Mania Man. How many? But is it 17 top 5?
We can
Okay,
put it now until there's something
Yes,
to kick it out.
we are at number. Did we put Mesh at number 3?
Yes.
So
Yes,
do
we
we
did.
move Mesh up for Steve Kekana or not?
no,
You say nah. You say
no.
what's the word out there? Rashid K.
Steve Kekana above Never
Above
Right.
Never Right. Yeah.
That's a tricky one.
I won't lie, it's not easy.
That's a tricky one.
What's the word here?
It's looking tricky, eh?
Yeah, okay, let's keep them there together at 3, maybe, since it's tricky. For now.
There's no other word. Come on, you
No
guys
one
had
is
so much
saying
to
that.
say earlier. Now you guys are stuck.
The thing is this whole DJ chat, I think for the
But
next
we've
one, do
opened that, man.
You
It's
open
the
it.
Mania Man.
Now it's about the many
Yeah,
men.
because we don't have enough DJ remixes.
I thought as much. But now,
So
Yeah.
Mania Man.
Remixes
well,
with a
how
lot
does
of
that song
people.
go? Who's in that song again?
Steve Gekayo. It was.
Amen. I'm
Mania
thinking the
Man.
ambitious one. But that's Amen. Am I
That's
But it's not a remix.
That's
yeah,
an
that's
original
So
song.
which song are you guys talking about there?
Steve Kekana was an
Kekana,
El
it's
Tito
El Tito.
song.
Yeah, the remix.
If it doesn't cover it, it's fine.
No, we moved from this
The
one, eh?
truth, it wasn't.
I think for me, I would play or I would put
Come on, go to the mic if you have something to say. We're doing a serious production here. The people at home must hear you.
like for me, I would put the Zakwe remix, which is the 17 or
The
something
17 years.
17.
above Never Right.
Can we come back on it another day to do this top 5?
Yeah, I think that
It's gonna
remix.
take us
the
a long
Zakwe-
time.
Let's shelf it. Let's shelf
Let's
it.
shelf it.
Let's
More
go
impact.
do some
The
research.
research.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to do. I thought it was gonna be easy. That we're just gonna. Yeah, now we have to go sit down with it and figure it out. So we'll come back.
Yeah.
We'll come back on another day when we're doing this, which hopefully is not too many times in a year. Another conversation that struck up. Usihle was out there. He's a hip hop engager of sorts out there on the Twitter. So he had put out something.
It's a
about-
slime.
Yes. He's a slime. shout out to all the slimes out there.
Yeah.
Big business. He put out something about Touch My Blood, so then I went in there and asked, is this album a classic? Because I had sat down with Fred Packer, shout out to Fred Packer, on the first ever Culture Chop that we had here on LOTV. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And he actually fought that. He was like, nah, Touch My Blood is not a remix. So I went out there
Classic.
and I asked. A classic, sorry. Why am I saying a remix? Touch My Blood is not a classic. So I asked, and from the response that I got from the general public, a lot of people seem to stand on business about it being a remix. I wanted to put it on the table out here.
Classic.
A classic! Why is the remix not leaving me?
The remix is calling.
It doesn't
That's
wanna
because
let
we
me
were not
go.
done
We
with
were
that
done,
topic.
yeah. It doesn't wanna that is hilarious. Not being a classic. So I wanted to put it on the table and ask, so what is our consensus here? And let's maybe give a certain level of, which we touched on the last episode,
Yeah.
because we're touching on Stogie having said there's no such thing as a classic in SA. Is, by the standards that we've put out there, Touch My Blood a classic?
For me, it hurts me to say. I don't think it's a classic. I think it's a really great album that I really do enjoy. I don't know if it's a classic. I don't know.
Rashid?
I think Touch My Blood is a dope album with classic songs.
Yeah.
You know, not every song on the album is classic.
That's tricky to say. You can't say that. You
Yeah.
can't. The reason why I say you can't say that is because last week we were saying, I'm gonna say last week for last episode. It
Okay,
works,
yeah,
because
yeah.
That's how television works. Last week we were saying an album can have skips. A classic album can have skips. So not every song being a classic is
What makes it a
is
classic?
not what it can't take
can
away
you pull
from
up? Can you
it.
pull up a playlist? I just wanna refresh.
Yeah,
like-
refresh on what's on the
Yeah.
album.
There's fire joints, like I'm saying. For me,
I know
it
there's
was,
fire joints.
For
Okay,
me, it was,
Fox, maybe give us why. What takes away for you from it being a classic? Why is it not a classic?
I think it's a feeling thing. I don't know if we can kind of quantify the feeling. Like it's a really great album. Like for me, it's one of his. Okay, after Levels, because Levels is classic. For me, Touch My Blood is amazing. Like it's a super great album. I just don't know if it's a South African classic or a Forbes classic.
But okay, let's think about what was happening in South Africa when he dropped that album. Like, the times were classic because that's Jigga, right? That's on this album.
Yeah.
That's The World Is Yours.
The World Is Yours. The
And
intro itself.
that comes with also his highest superstar levels, like Kanye making My Beautiful Dark Twisted whatnot.
It was a
Because
classic moment.
he's in the Bonang relationship,
in that
does The
bag.
World Is Yours out there, wherever they are at. In Mauritius, I think they shoot the vid. He comes back. That's one of his best songs in his catalog.
Yeah.
Jigga, he has us all doing the step.
Fella in Versace.
Fela in Versace, one of his biggest songs in his
Sweet
entire
Fire.
catalog. Oh, come on, gentlemen.
Fully in.
Talk-
No.
Talk to me, gentlemen. What is
Aight.
missing? The moments were
No,
classic.
I think I
The
had to.
songs are classic, and he had like 4 or 5 hit singles, and then the songs that are not hits are
still dope album cuts.
fire album
Yeah.
cuts.
Okay, here's my take. I had to refresh my memory. I think it's a classic album. Touch My Blood is a classic album.
Please, let's be fair.
You know what I mean? I was just looking at songs right now.
And the thing is,
Come
I
on.
remember at the
Yeah.
time when the album came out as well, I also felt like, yeah, all right, cool. But when I went back without the feeling of that time, and then now, when you go back to what happened when he put out this music, how he touched the people,
Yeah.
the songs, the singles, the music, this is, and a lot of, from the consensus of, and this is, I guess, is another thing we can speak on. A lot of people feel like this is his best album.
Yeah, for me, that's what I was saying to you. I think it's a really great album.
It is.
I think it was just maybe the feeling of the timeline, or how I guess maybe I regard a classic in what happens around. I think it needed the memory refresh as well. But even when you look at the lineup of songs, like it's almost 10 out of 10.
My guy,
some of his
You know what
best
I mean?
work. I think even the best
And
songs.
did you hear
the best
best
songs,
songs in his
the songs
career,
that he made on here.
Line his
Crazy,
compilation.
Did you hear JR saying this album, he was going through it with the Bonang situation? Yeah, they had to go to Sun City.
It was
and
heartbreak music.
Yeah, it was almost about Bonang. They had to go
Mm.
to Sun City and redo some of the songs. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that was that time of his life, because I guess we all assumed and kind of knew that the Beyonce song.
The Beyonce song, yeah.
And these are all great songs, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think they're all even classic songs, to be honest.
So how can
So
many
do you
classic
agree now
songs
that it is a
come from
classic
an album
album?
that's not
Yeah.
classic?
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm going back to the point of saying that I think it's like I think this album is a sleeper. You know, it's one
Yeah.
of those where it's really the one, but it took time for people to come back, or even for me to realize what's stacked up.
Do you
out
know
here.
why? Can I speak to that point?
Sure.
The album came out at a time where it was fashionable to hate on Forbes.
Forbes, yeah.
Where people just wanted to diminish his level of, because this is also peak beef with Casper. So
Yeah.
even the audience is divided. There's also people who just want to shit on this shit just to shit on it.
Yeah.
And also he doesn't have public favor, because we all just found out he cheated on his baby moms and left her for the superstar lady. And he's living a pop star lifestyle, and left his daughter. And so I think all of that involved in the
Contributes,
timing is what maybe made it feel like, this nigga. And he's singing about it in the music and embracing it.
Yeah.
So it makes you not want to embrace it. But if you're just
I think that's
objective
correct.
about...
I think that's correct, because my feed, if you remember, my response was, as great as the album is, the only reason when you asked me what was missing is that the feeling at the time, and I think you spot on to say that's why it didn't feel like that. Because for me, on a criteria, and when I look at what's happening,
It's
the
ticking
impact,
every
it's
box.
ticking everything, you know.
And besides, it's a cool thing now to hate on whoever's on top, you know.
Yeah,
people
that's-
hate on Jay-Z,
that's
people
just
hate on
emotion.
LeBron, people hate on Drake.
Yeah, but the
you know.
music here, I
Yeah.
won't lie, the music here is
What?
some
It's
actually
crazy.
like real
You know what I'm
classic songs.
I was aware that there's classic songs, but when I revisit it, I can affirm that it is a classic album.
No.
So Touch My Blood
Touch My Blood is classic.
is a classic album.
It was just a funky time.
Shout out Keenan
Without a
Forbes.
doubt, without a doubt.
Whew, how long has this chat been? How much time we got? The Nasty C saga. So I see a Nasty C saga happening, right? Which I want us to maybe touch on, see how we all see it. This is how I see where he's at right now. You kind of touched on something along the lines of when we were talking about the top 5 albums, and you said the impact of the music not being as what it used to be. So I see him being in a very tricky position, because even when you analyze how this album was received, and you look at how great the music is, because it's arguably his best work, right?
Yeah.
But it's not received.
But it's not received in that way. And Nasty C, in my opinion, have seen how I see his career. He's done so many great things that have impressed us and given us the hope that, oh shit, this kid is the next, he's the greatest. And it seems the position he's in on the international side, which is what he obviously needs to round it all up, to solidify it, is to go on that side as well, you know?
Yeah.
that's something he's been actively working on for the past couple of years, where he's always out there in the States, moving and shaking, doing freestyles, going crazy, which he's bodying, and people are starting to see him. What can he possibly do in the position he's in to be able to crack that window and what can he do to impress on that level? Because at this point, he's been around so long that we know how great he is. So as impressive as the music will be, it's not what's gonna push you to say.
I think I have a point to that.
Yeah.
So for me, like if you guys remember the statement I was making then, how I started it off was by saying, as goated as Nasty C is, meaning we recognize that he's very talented, he's dope, he's got all the potential, right? I just think the efforts that are put in place to cross over to that side are almost not hitting, because also Africa and South Africa is starting to mean something different to the world in the international space.
Yeah.
And when they hear of his origin and then they hear the music, for them, maybe as American people,
I'm pulling this up for you because
for American people, maybe it's like, I mean, this is dope, but where's the African, where's the, you know? So I think it's also shown, look at the response he had with Lemonade, with Forbes, right? Some of
South Africa, his most South African verse.
He's most South
for
African.
me.
And the one verse that I think people will hold up there more than any bars he could flip to the most quadruple entendres or whatever, I think that for him was for me would have taken it as a sign from God or the music gods to say, bro, you actually still do have something.
That you could surprise the
You
people
have not
with.
entered this pocket. And look how people appreciate this, how they respond to it. You know, so I think I would have taken that.
There was also a similar signal with Particular.
You feel me? That's
when he was on that and he was like, oh shit.
So for me,
This
I'm
is-
thinking, look at what Ghana's doing now. I'm gonna use Ghana to kind of show, like, Ghana's kind of almost outed, right, in the States, in that industry. And that's maybe his reasoning for expanding or seeing beyond. But look at his moves with the songs did with Ashake. And he's got another song also with another guy, I forgot. But he's like, I think it's from the Zimbabwe
I
or
saw
something.
that, yeah.
All them shits is so fire. And I think Nasty could do the same. I think he could expand his palette.
horizon.
You know,
His palette.
palette for the music. I think he can play with all, like, Nasty's pen, I think, is unmatched. His music making ability is also unmatched.
Unmatched,
Yeah.
You know, I
He's
don't think.
up there with Forbes.
Yeah, I don't think, like, making music is not a struggle for Nasty. So I think it all lies in the music direction. I think that's why it's maybe not translating that side, because when they hear Africa, and it's worse now with piano having scorched the scene, that side, it's like if they hear that you're from Africa or South African, those are the elements they are looking for.
Yeah.
You know?
They're
So
looking
if
for
they
that
hear you sounding like someone from out here, I don't think they would be eager to jump into that, because it's like,
We already
kind
got
of know
these
this
niggas,
shit.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Africa is sold to the world as Afrobeat and Amapiano. And they don't get that from Nasty C. And another thing is Nasty C gave us a masterpiece from the word go, Price City.
True.
You know, and we expect him to go higher than that. You know, it's a Nas syndrome. When he was 18, when he made Illmatic, people expected him to do something better or bigger than Illmatic. Sometimes your first album can be your best album. You know, so I think that's where we're at musically. Nasty C is a
flawless.
genius, yeah. So he needs to decide on his sound, like for the international market. You know, we love him as he is here, but he needs to, like, think of the international market.
I was about to address that also, is his international aspirations also seem to have disconnected him a bit with the local grip that he has.
Yeah.
Which is why even him making music as great as this, because this is no different to when he made Strings and Bling.
Yeah.
Because Strings and Bling was also impeccable work, and that was received on a much better level because he still had that grip on the public where it was like, oh, this Nasty C kid is just like, so it's like, yeah. Okay, but also it was a time where hip-hop was still on top. But regardless, he has built a household name.
Yeah.
He should be able to move the same way KO is with Sete. Like
People can still move.
People can
even
still
in this
move,
climate.
aka with Lemonade, and people can still move, and especially people who have already built a name for
who've been
themselves.
established. So for me, that's
Do you
what
agree that he has?
I think
sort
there's a
of-
slight disconnect. Obviously, when you're on GOAT status, you've these fans and people have grown up with you in their lives, so they'll always respect and regard you and check you out. But I think even my point that time when I was saying that the moves and the music maybe is not hitting the way it did is because there is a bit of a disconnect and it's natural. It's going to happen, not because of how long you've been here. Because if you think about it, these guys are approaching 10 years in the game.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
Which is
if you think about
crazy.
It's crazy.
As young
as the kids who are the new kids then. These guys are approaching 10 years in the game. So we've seen all the tricks. We've seen their best work. And I think when you start aiming to hit another level or to change a gear, there's a lot you have to consider and apply, So maybe your super hip-hop persona and bravado has to kind of die. Treat it like a Drizzy, I look at Nasty like that. Like, he's a Drizzy. He can give me all kinds of tropical songs and R&B. He's had an R&B hit. He has R&B hits. His biggest songs are R&B hits. So,
and he can always have the rap shit in the album.
Yeah.
Dog, he was doing freestyles when he goes to the state, does his freestyle. We all know his ability, We all know his ability. And it's not that the people that side aren't necessarily seeing it. Like, if a Chris Brown can take his freestyle and post it, and if he can get all these, they are aware of him. It's just, I don't think that's what they are looking for when they hear an African or Zulu man with some power. You know what I'm saying? They associate that with Africa, so they want to be like, but where's the African, yabo? So I think, Doug, that the Lemonade for me was a from God to say, my brother, this is...
Are you saying he was supposed to run with it?
I think so. For me.
I think, and that for me will bring me back to the same point I was making about when we were having the conversation about the hip-hop DJ sets. If the new kids, because it's not that the new kids are not talented and they're not fire, if they had direction, the thing is, the new youngins didn't have like the big homie direction. They've always come in doing exactly what they feel like doing and what they want to do. We were fortunate, like people like me, Questa, Casper, X, and even Forbes. We were fortunate to rub shoulders with people like JR, Double HP, KO, and people who, the Squatters, Slicker, Amo, like people who know the nerve of South African audience, like as far as how to nail it. Because making successful commercial music is not about being fire. And yes, everybody has their niche where they have a fan base that loves them. We get that. That's cool. But if we're talking about hip-hop and relating to everybody and being in the place where it used to be, because that's when it was a mass consumption product. In order for it to be that, there's certain pockets that the niggas don't hit and don't even acknowledge that are there that they could just pick up and just put the whole thing right back to the top. Because Lemonade is a perfect example. It's like, Nasty would have never hopped on that thing. Actually, there's word that he initially didn't want to hop on it. And Forbes had to convince him, trust me.
Yeah.
This is, And when he got in that pocket, hit the spot.
People love that verse.
I haven't seen that type of reaction to Nasty C locally.
In the longest.
In the longest time.
Best collabo at the Summers.
Yeah. Because, like, let me show you. That's what the people chose. Like, we can all go and make music and think it's the best or the hits or whatever. It's the people there who decide what that song
The
or what that
consumer
thing
decides,
is.
yeah.
The customer's always right. So if the customer is telling you that, Doug, this is the shit, why would I go back and cook something else?
Yeah, like if you have these pies
And my
that
customers are
go
all
crazy,
saying, yo, the pies.
why am I gonna? Because I have a passion to cook.
To make pop and they are telling me, yo, your best work here in this menu
when you
is
make
this.
this shit,
So go home and
we're
make,
lining
and
up to come buy.
go
this
home and
shit.
make the same shit. Come back and see. You know?
And my thing is, and this is what KO taught me and X, because obviously it comes with a lot of compromise, you know.
course.
So what KO taught us was, dog, you niggas can always do this other shit that you like doing for the sales purpose, for the purpose of being a successful musician, a music artist that does shows all over the continent and is a mass product. This is the compromise
Yes.
in order to please your audience.
And for me, even that compromise, I think it's just an ego thing. I don't think it's really a compromise.
It's definitely an ego thing.
Because niggas wanna feel like, nah, I don't wanna look like I'm not Igbo. I'm still the hardest nigga. Like, bro, if you drop an album,
No, who are you making music for?
that's what I'm
Who
saying.
you-
If you drop an album, bro,
You know?
and you make those type songs, those bring the mass, right? But people, there's still album cuts. It's like, look at it with the Drake. Like, it's a perfect example. He's got hits, he's got tropical songs and all kinds of stuff. But he'll give you the timestamps in the album, the 6 p.m. in somewhere, 7 a.m. in somewhere. And one, that's where you can show your ability. Like, Nasty can always remind people that, bro, I don't even have to fuck reminding you. You guys can go back and bump that shit. You guys know I've done it. I'm certified.
I remember I was at the Hypnotic Festival in Swaziland, and you were performing with X,
Yes.
and people were like singing every song
Word
word
for
for
word.
word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why
Commercial music.
That's why I
Commercial
can
music,
always
yeah.
speak on, but it's not national because I've lived it. I've seen
done.
we could go anywhere and everywhere. And yes, rappers nowadays are successful in their own pocket, but there's not many of them that have that, where it's like, I can take this anywhere and but
Doug,
True.
this is my take also, just to wrap up the Nasty thing for me.
Mm.
You see when Nasty, they started the efforts for him to try and cross over internationally?
yeah.
If it had been done with that direction that we're speaking of and with that palette, I think Nasty Dog would be standing with the Wiz Kids.
He'd be certified by
Yeah.
now.
He'd be standing with the Wiz Kids. He'd be selling out shows that side. He'd also be competing as an artist on that level,
Which is where he should be.
which is where he deserves to be.
Yeah, that's the caliber of artist that he is.
Yes. So for me, if those efforts were done with the right music behind him, bro, I think we would be seeing Nasty.
Yeah, and he'd probably be even bigger.
Let's hope
than
he's still
all
gonna
those
break
names,
through.
But he still has the opportunity.
Yeah,
to.
let's hope he's still
And
gonna break
also,
through.
we could be wrong. He could find it in his own way,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
we're
mean-
just analyzing the data.
Yeah, this is just analytics on obviously an educated opinion.
Educated
Yeah.
opinion.
It's an
yeah.
educated opinion,
On-
but at the end of the day, I mean, we are not Nasty C, and whatever
And
he knows
normally
what he
He's
what
got
wants.
his
will
own
happen.
plans. He's got his
Yeah,
own plans.
Also, we don't know his. We're judging from what we see. We don't know his actual desires, but from what it looks like, this is our take,
Yeah.
And that's what I would say.
Another thing I brought up out there in the culture is Casper Nyovest the club bang a lot in SA?
Yeah,
Because
for me-
I said that as we're talking about club bangers, and I was like, for me personally, Casper is the #1 club banger. Like, as far as club bangers, I feel like he's the club banger goat.
He is. For me, he is.
He's
Because
definitely.
I think he's proven. Because, like, as much as there's other songs and what's to name, like, he always had the club ringing off. He knew the right songs, even the beats. Like, he was on par even with what was happening in the
in the
States.
States,
He
always.
was just doing it in Vernac.
Yeah.
But when we were looking at the play, the sound, the beats, even if you listen to Oh Mama, I Made It, all those things, like, those are all club. I think it's the club banger goat. Like, I think people catch songs that ring off in the club, but I think there's a point where he was making and they're all ringing off.
Precisely. Give me your opinion, and then I'll have a question that follows that up.
I was trying to think of someone else with better bangers or more bangers than Casper, and I can't. You know, so
I can't find anybody. Like I think somebody for me that at first came in as someone who was a club banger lord as well was like Nasty C.
Yeah,
Nasty C also was like, yo, like he dropped a joint that if it's coming on in the club,
everybody's
fair
going
to.
crazy.
Like not, and so this brings me to this question, which is, there's a difference between a club banger and a song that bangs in the club.
Facts.
Like, because there's somebody who then obviously is disputing me now. You know, the tutus are always going to come. Respectfully. So, he's out there, he's like, he's like, nah, for me, Questa is the club banger, Lord. Someone else came in and said, KO is the club. I'm like,
what? KO?
I'm like, club.
They're not
I'm
even
like,
mentioning
guys,
Ricky. They're not even mentioning Ricky.
And Ricky's more of a
Ricky's
club
more of a
banger
club
than
both those names.
I would
those
expect
niggas.
them to mention Ricky.
And it's like, wait. And my response to that was, Questa made Umzongongo and
He was not the club music.
and KO is this kind of god. Like, club banger goes ganjani.
No.
This nigga goes down the list, but it's counting respectfully. These are all Senzo hits. But it's counting all Vurvaye, no Nyazfela Ngawe. It's like,
Those are not
Nigga is
club bangers. Those are hits.
That's a nigga who's never been in the club.
that's how I felt. Because, like, also, which club are these songs ringing on?
Yeah.
I think also in South Africa, we have to distinguish a difference between a club and the sporty. I think also the
Yes.
niggas go to their sport, the sporty in their hood, which
Yeah.
you guys treat as a club, but that's not the club.
And you hear these songs.
Yeah, and because of course, then the spirits there is a
Respectfully
club
to
banger.
Senzo,
That's gonna go off.
Nyasfela House not ringing off in the club, believe me.
Even spirits.
Yeah,
Like
they're not
Ngutu
ringing.
is ringing off because it's a hit.
It's a big song.
It's a big song, but it's not a club banger.
No.
A club banger is Kushesha was a club
This is
banger.
a club
Yeah.
banger. We've
Dog
got
Dog
Shebeleza.
Shebeleza was a club banger.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tito Mboweni,
Tito
oh, Mama
Mboweni
made it.
is a goat club banger.
Tito Mboweni in the club.
What?
Bro, I remember.
Are you crazy?
I remember dog,
Sazoba Lit.
vividly.
Sazobalit,
I
club
remember
banger.
vividly when that
Yeah.
song dropped and the whole country said it was trash.
For like a week.
For like a week. As soon as we either heard it in the club and after the video,
Stop it.
believe me, we're on the couches.
Where to? The sha you
I
couldn't
don't-
avoid it.
I just don't think anyone can compete with Casper in that
Somebody
range.
actually responded to me and said, Kusheshe, Mama made it. Which club? I'm like, wait, what
Guys,
clubs are these?
what
That's
clubs
why
are
I'm
you
like,
guys attending?
That's why I'm like, these people
Yeah.
are definitely talking about the sporty way. Because it can't be the
The
club.
tavern, the
Dog,
Yeah,
tavern
the
way.
tavern
I
motion.
remember, you
Yeah.
remember at the thing when I think it was Sway in the Sanson. I remember Cool Cat wasn't even big or bigger than Casper then or anything. I remember his verse word for word ringing off in the club.
Off, big
Ringing
dog.
off, dog. And Cool Cat, that's kind of his first like appearance that made everyone be like, hey,
Yeah,
who's this
that's
Cool
the-
Cat? Like, hey. It was ringing off like in the club. So
No, Cas.
Even his latest offering, he showed that he can still do it with 018.
018,
018,
yeah.
I
Club
heard it.
banger once again.
Went crazy.
He's a club banger lord.
That's his forte.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
Cas
think
is
anyone can fuck with it.
undisputed.
Yeah, this is forte. I
Does
don't-
anybody have any disputes for Casper being a...
And
club
to
banger
clarify
goes.
also for people, because I hate this shit. To clarify to people, guys, that's us saying it's a club banger, specifically that. We're not talking about hits. We're not saying Casper has the best hits
Hey, people are gonna pull out like
or the most hits.
Spotify numbers. and
What's
say,
up? People are gonna tell you about no, but this person has more hits.
and
Like
say,
we're not
hey,
saying
look
who
at
has the best
numbers.
hits.
Yeah.
We're strictly talking about the club,
The club
bangers.
bangers. Did you say I have 2 minutes there? My employer's saying I have 2 minutes. Imagine.
Yeah,
Damn.
like 120 seconds.
And I have, we still have so much to touch on. Let me wrap up this Casper thing a bit. What I wanted to touch on also is it not a bit too early for Cas to cross over to the Grootman rap? Because it felt as though that is the intention with the Solomon album.
the Solomon album.
Yeah, where he's kind of maturing it a bit, and Like for me, on my end, I feel as though that's something KO should be doing. I feel like KO can cross over, but I feel like Casper still has.
I don't think it's the Grootman-ness, but I think it's a spirituality. It's a spiritual thing. He found Jesus, and he decided to take a certain direction.
So you feel like he can't give us jams just because he believes in Jesus? Come on, that's not a good enough.
That's my own opinion. I
mean,
could be wrong.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying because a couple people said the same thing. Like, nah, he's a Christian, but I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think that's justified.
Kanye has always believed in Jesus. He came out with a song called Jesus Walks, but like he's giving us bangers to us.
Yeah.
I feel like he shouldn't give up on giving us bangers just yet.
I think for me, maybe it was also not a conscious decision. I think these things maybe happen to people. I think it's bigger than the Christ thing. I think maybe him having the kid and, you know, maybe they inspired.
I feel the same,
It inspired the direction in the music, you know, that he was currently into.
Yeah.
But I think that shit will phase out, man. Like,
I hope so.
I think Cass is always someone who loves the streets, who loves having bangers. He prides himself in seeing crowd reactions. I think even if you can give us 2 gospel albums, I think he'll always go back and give us something. He's gonna have a banger.
Yeah.
I think it's just where he's
I
at
think
right
maybe
now.
a direct message to Cass is we still need you in the clubs, big dog. Because also, not a lot of the new hip hop makes it into their space because they don't really hit the national nerve.
Yeah.
So we still need, just for on a hip hop representation level, we still need somebody who's gonna hit that pocket.
Super.
To close it off, oh, what a cultural chap. This one felt good. This one felt hella cultural.
Yeah.
Dog, so we're gonna have to do Pretty next time, or what?
That's what I wanna close it off with.
Oh, we can.
To close it off, Pretty drops Dust. His final installment to the
one of the best trilogies.
The trilogy.
One of the best we've seen in the continent.
If not the best.
If not the best.
Yeah.
If not the best trilogy.
Yeah. No. Pretty
Our
for me.
response to the album, gentlemen.
For
and you
me,
have to address it because you talked crazy about it.
But that was just before the album even dropped. I was talking in general. It was not personalized.
And it was banter also. It felt like a bit of banter or what?
Sometimes it feels like that because I don't have PR answers. You know, I'll say it as it is. Yeah.
Okay. Get in there, big dog.
I
hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I didn't study the art of sucking dick.
God damn.
Why? I hear you.
Yeah.
For me, dog, Pretty. I think for me, first and foremost, Pretty, one of the best writers. You know.
Yeah, that pen is gliding.
I think I've always known that. I've always given that, and it's what I expect. I think also he's one of the most cohesive niggas I've ever met in my existence. You know, if he's on something, he's on it, and he does it to the fullest. So I think that album, the way it's created, even that trilogy.
Yeah,
it's
gonna remain in history books.
I think, and I really hope it's really not his last. But if it is, man.
What a way to go out.
What a way to go out. From intro, the stitch of the pen, the detailing of the rhymes, the storytelling. Like, he's also not just, and Pretty can rap circles around a lot of people. But if you actually tap in and really listen, he's saying a whole lot of shit.
He's talking, he's not just rapping.
It's not just a bunch of fire flows on fire beats.
Yeah.
Like, Pretty is talking that shit.
You know what I like about this album, about Pretty? Is when a lyricist makes beautiful music.
Bro. When a lyricist can put it together.
Yes.
Bro. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He came through on this album.
What an album.
You know, I think it's the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it is the best of the trilogy.
Tier when you listen, like,
you know,
I think he touched a whole nother pocket. Like,
and his best album, no?
I believe so.
I think this is definitely.
I think I'm still, obviously it's fresh. I'm still
and he's still the reigning best lyricist at the Sahas.
Oh, then it makes perfect sense for him to be this guy, but people don't know his deliver.
Yes. You know what I mean?
Pretty
any favorite moments?
And people when we make these comments that why are you hating Pretty? Why are you hating Blackie? Why are you it's not hate.
It's never hate.
It's never hate.
Yeah.
You know, these are our people.
Yeah, this is our culture. This is where
Yeah.
we live. Any standout moments for you
For me,
personally?
I'll speak of one that I think has me on hold till this very minute.
Yeah.
The intro for me,
Yo, the way he came in on that album.
bro, my spirit in the room was lifting. Like, for me, I always tell even artists that how you kick off a project can even determine how long I last, or if I make it to the next song.
Yeah.
And for me, Shivers, my brother. Shivers.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shivers through the intro. So that moment for me, he was able to just capture you and bring you almost into the
Immediately.
depths of where it's really at quickly. First track, you know, it was very impactful. I think that's my favorite moment. I can't find a better moment right now. The album is still fresh, obviously.
It's
I'm
still-
Yeah,
gonna
no.
grow with
Yeah.
it. But for
This
me, that
album
moment,
is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And the features, like,
He perfectly placed. He's also a great producer.
yeah.
Like,
Great
Yo, the features are crazy and perfect. Maclare, he has Maclare, he has Tyson,
And he also-
Sabatelli, he has Ginger Trill,
oh, shout out to Tyson. Fire verse.
he has Kiki.
Trill's verse.
Yeah.
For me, what I like most even
Crazy.
about the features is not only does he have them, but the way he used them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like so he used them with purpose. You know, there's people who just put people on songs and it's just like,
Hey, the Broken Home song.
bro,
Crazy. Broken Home song.
Fire. Even what is that? Family Man
Family Man,
also
man.
for me is crazy.
Bro,
With
this
hey,
album-
Tatos, oh,
Hey,
no, Derek
but
also.
But I think
Every
Zulu
feature's
Mecca
crazy.
is slept on big time.
Zulu
Highly.
Mecca went crazy. I wanted to mention
Zulu
that.
Mecca is slept on big time.
Fire
and the first
verse.
time I also discovered Zumega was through Pretty's music.
Yeah, the first time.
The first
Yeah,
time.
and this is my second time really hearing.
I went and
Zulu
picked the
Mecca.
EP because I was like, yo, what the hell going on
Zulu
here?
Mecca
I
is
need to tap
crazy.
in.
I bumped some
Yeah.
other EP. It was crazy. The
It's a
writing-
matter of time before people catch on.
I just don't think Southside is ready or that tapped in mentally.
Yeah.
For someone that prolific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's too prolific.
No Plans also for me hits the right nerve. Whenever he makes joints for his lady,
Yes.
he doesn't miss with
I think
that.
that's a bone in his body.
Yeah.
Because if you think about, you remember that song he did with the Clysons, with Cly, Something New.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
with Fly.
I think everything when it involves, I think that's a very good part of his life where he gets a lot of peace. So I think when the music is inspired from that direction, I think we see some of the most beautiful music from Pretty.
Facts.
Alright. One last question
Yes.
on this album. Do you think it's an instant classic or it's gonna be classic over time?
I think it's gonna be classic over time.
This is my personal opinion. In my own corner, it's an instant classic.
It's a bit instant also,
It's a
ne?
bit
Yeah.
instant. I think
It's a bit
Yeah.
instant, ne?
I think it's an instant
I
classic.
think it's a bit instant for me. Just, bro, in rap, like, and for me, I'll speak on this. Like, I get it. Like, you know, someone like Haris came in and he's always been crowned that, and that. But, like, I think you guys really do a disservice to Pretty Ugly as fucking hip hop. I think you guys do a
Facts.
disservice to Pretty Ugly. You guys get lost in the fucking jokes that mean nothing. Pretty has always delivered when it comes to this. He's one person who also prides himself when it comes to the pen. We've known Pretty for about 10 years, if not more.
Yeah.
I've never heard his pen slip, ever.
No.
And I think because there's lyricists that you guys favor more, it eclipses or clouds your judgment.
He's the reigning champ.
To me.
I'm saying at the Sahas, he's the reigning champ currently.
And I wanna say this,
He
to
got his
me,
flowers.
I hear y'all, like, and they'll always put what about a Pretty, a Stogie? But I think in recent times,
Yeah.
bro,
Is our best rapper.
Pretty is our best rapper, and I don't think niggas are even developing. Pretty is still going. His skill, I can still hear the improvement in
Yeah,
this
it's still
album.
getting better.
Yeah.
The other people that I have mentioned, I've heard them, but I don't think they're cracking
Not on
anything.
that
The
level.
thing
Nothing
is,
new.
some rappers have reached the ceiling, and if you listen to Pretty, you can tell that this album is better than the previous. So I don't understand why he's quitting. Why this is the last
because
album?
you guys are doing him a disservice. His passion that he has loved has become something that you guys have turned dark in his life because you guys make fucking jokes that mean nothing. He puts his life into this music, and that's probably the one person who's giving you guys real hip hop that you guys cry about. But then what do you guys do? You go to the jokes. Why else would someone want to hang up their boots? It doesn't feel fun anymore. You guys don't even appreciate. You guys don't even appreciate.
The thing is, if you're living in the Twitter world and you pay attention, you entertain that, it's gonna get to you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Remember the jokes after the Pretty Casper fight.
Yeah.
You know, that's just tweeted things.
Yes, but like with boxing, things is cool, it's whatever. But like this goes on to his lady and how it makes him feel. Yeah, so it attacks more than what we see or what we actually acknowledge. You know?
Shout out to Buntle.
Yes, of course.
And you must understand
First
also
lady.
music comes from inspiration. It comes from how you're feeling.
It comes from the soul.
Yeah.
So if we're making someone feel pop, how are we expecting them to perform on the highest level? You know? So I think that's my
hit it on
takeaway.
the
Put
nail,
some
Big
respect on Pretty.
Yeah.
I have to get us off.
Please.
I have to land the plane, gentlemen. Our time here is up. Thank you for coming to the Culture Chop. Thank you for participating.
Anytime,
Farx,
my king.
Rashid K, the
Farx.
OG.
Always a
Nice
pleasure.
one, my G.
This lineup
Always a
is the
pleasure.
greatest
Bless
of all
up.
time. Culture Chop. We'll pick it up with more culture next time. Lovely work. I, myself, am the Lord of the entire Shade Game is the verdict. You already know what time we're on, 2024. Big business. See you next time.
Love and light.
For the culture, for the culture.
For the culture.
God, I need to piss.
Yo, that's me. Yo.